Grand Rising family, great rising, joyous rising, rich rising, a wealthy rising. Hello, how is everybody today? Happy Monday. It's so good to see everybody. Let me tell you, we have an amazing show scheduled for today. So check in, let us know how you're doing. Tell us where you're hailing from. Get your pens and a notepad because we have a phenomenal show with a military veteran who's going to come and talk to us about what it was like for him to serve in the military. And he's going to share with us information about how critical of a time we're living in. Farmer Dre is not just a farmer, he's a military veteran. He is a biblical teacher, a Levite. He is a husband, a family man, a father. He served this great country for many years and comes from a line of military professionals. So this gentleman is going to come on today to talk to us about the critical time period in which we're living, how the military can in fact take control in cases of disorder, how the military can squelch any wild protest, chaos, other military trying to come in and take over. The military can enact an emergency broadcast system announcement, especially if they're in control. So we're really, really excited about Farmer Dre coming on. I'm going to give you some time to check in. Let us know where you're hailing from. We're going to play a little intro music. And he's also going to talk about how they can enact curfew. And not just enact curfew and say everybody has to be in at a certain time. They can enforce it. I'm talking about the military. So as I told you, and I've been talking to you about this for a few days, and I said it earlier this morning, the Save America Act is currently in position to be passed. It has passed through the House and it's being really held up in the Senate. The Save America Act says that everybody here on these lands, in order to vote, have to provide some type of government ID or official ID to prove that they're either an American national or United States citizen in order to vote. Why is it that the Senate is holding that up? Why are the liberal people that's involved in keeping migrants and immigrants here, why are they pushing back a mandate for everybody to show their ID? You got to have ID to drive. You have to have ID to have certain licenses, but you don't need an ID in order to vote. Well, behind the scenes, some people are alleging that the Save America Act did pass. And if it did pass, that gives President Donald Trump a lot of power. So again, the Save America Act says that everybody has to prove that they're either an American national or United States citizen in order to vote. That he's getting pushed back from the Senate. President Trump is. This family is very serious because at the same time, you have the Iranian U.S. conflict. Even though the U.S. and Iran signed a memorandum of understanding, that doesn't mean they come to a complete peace treaty agreement. They're in peace talks, right? So the deep state could at any time stage a black swan event, a false flag event, anything could happen that will cause the government to say, you know what? We got to shut down everything in order to gain peace and control of our country. And we could have an emergency broadcast system announcement. I read to you the intel I got just yesterday saying that, in fact, we are headed towards that. So I'm going to let you come on here, family, and take your time. Get you something to drink, please. Get you a notepad, a pen, because Farmer Dre is going to talk to you about how to prepare for an emergency broadcast system announcement and what items you need. Because if they shut down everything, which they've been talking about that for a long time, if they shut down the schools, you do know the Department of Education is being dismantled, right? You do know that the administrators in the Department of Education have been fired. I don't know if y'all know that, or let go, or asked to take early retirement. And it's trickling down to teachers. That's why schools have been consolidating over the last 5 years. The Department of Education is shutting down. Other departments within the government, they're shutting down. We're under a partial government shutdown right now. This is serious. This isn't to upset anybody, but this is to teach you or encourage you to be proactive and prepare. So come on in the room, give me 1 minute to take a break to get some water. And Farmer Dre, our military veteran and our military professional of the Soul Tribe, is going to come on to tell us how to prepare. And he has a bug out bag, not just tools, flashlights, and different seeds and things you need. That's just on his website. But he put that in one bag so that the Soul Tribe, if you don't want to order different individual items, you can get it in one bag. So come on in, check in. 213 people in the chat. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Come on in, fam. Start it.
Shining wisdom's light, teaching Soul Tribe how to see through the night. Ancient scriptures and bloodlines she knows, spreading truth wherever she goes. Soul Tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. Through her channel, knowledge flows.
Keep checking in, family. Hit the like button. Share the video. This is very important. Hit that like button. We're getting ready to get started. Come on in the room, family. Bring your questions for Farmer Dre, former military vet, military professional of the Soul Tribe.
Hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. From currencies to investments divine, she's helping her tribe to realign with wisdom, ancient and new, showing what we all can do. Soul Tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. Soul Tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia lights the way to a new and brighter day.
All right. 220 people in the chat. Check in, family. So glad to see you all. Welcome to the Dr. Kia Pruitt Show. Welcome, Soul Tribe members. I am elated today. It is Moon Day or Monday. Check in. Let's get this conversation started. I don't know how you all feel about today, but let me put my nose ring in. I checked the gold and silver. Check the gold and silver prices. so today. On tomorrow, we are going to have a membership meeting group. So we'll do a report on precious metals, gold, silver, copper, and rare earth minerals. And I'm going to do a report tomorrow about what's going on in other foreign countries with their economy, their banking policies. And I'm going to talk about whether or not these currencies are ready to revalue so that you all that are invested in these countries can become wealthy and you can create your humanitarian projects to help society. So that report will be sometime Tuesday evening. Join a private group, hit the join button on any of my videos, including maybe even this one, or just go to the Dr. Kia Pruitt show on my YouTube channel, hit join, follow the prompts, and you'll be in so we can do a financial report, a geopolitical and global financial report for all of you who are interested in accumulating wealth or assets for your family. In the meantime, if you're interested in gold and silver, remember I am an affiliate with Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company. You can give Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company a call at 952-929-7006, or you can send an email to info@milesfranklin.com and let them know you heard about gold and silver from the Dr. Kia Pruitt show, because doing that will ensure you get the best prices in the industry. Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company is an A+ company with the Better Business, registered with the Better Business Bureau. It's a family business that's been operating for about 4 decades now. No customer complaints. Andy Scheckman has been on my show several times. I need to invite him back. The reason why he hasn't been on most recently is because my shows continue to be monitored, flagged. I had shows that were, complete channels that were taken down for me talking about gold and silver because they didn't want you all to know that gold and silver are lawful money. So right now, silver is $58.74. Gold is $4,039. That's a drastic cut from where silver and gold were in the beginning of the year. Silver was $130 per ounce at the beginning of the year. That was a new all-time high. Gold was $5,300 an ounce, new all-time high. But the prices are being suppressed and people are selling off their assets as they anticipate, inflation rising, interest rates rising. And people are like, look, with the economy being the way it is, gas prices going up, food price, everything's going up. Some people are selling off their assets just so they can live. All right. So if you want gold or silver, contact Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company at 952-929-7006. So what are we talking about today? Today, we have an amazing guest, a military veteran who has served our great country. He is a husband, a father of 4, a counselor, and he is a biblical teacher, a Levite, who talks about how to live according to biblical or ancestral ancient laws that will help you, not just how to take the Bible and just, read it just for knowledge, but how to apply it to your life. This young man also is living off the grid. He worked for the military. He served in the military. So please make sure you tell him, if you get a chance, thank you for your service. They put their lives on the line every day. But after that, he went to work for the government. In 2025, I believe, during the government shutdown, he was encouraged or asked to take early retirement. He took the early retirement, bought a significant amount of land, and he and his family moved onto the homestead. They're growing their own food. They're raising their own cattle. He prepares the cattle. He teaches you how to hunt, how to not only hunt, but how to prepare meat properly, drain the blood properly and everything to feed the family. He teaches you how to grow your own food, which seeds are the best seeds. This gentleman has the best interest of the people at heart because he served the country. He loves America. He loves all of those that are here in America. He's not like one race is against this one and one better. This man is a military veteran who's concerned about the safety and well-being of Americans. Okay. So this is why we brought him on today. He's going to talk to us about how to live off the grid and how to live and prepare in case we have an emergency announcement. Now, I've read for you earlier what that emergency announcement could look like, and I'll get into that in just a few minutes. But before I do that, please, family, with 304 people in the chat, and I know more people are going to join, hit the like button, share this video, and let's give a round of applause to our military veteran and service member, none other than Farmer Dre. Hi, Farmer Dre. Welcome.
What's going on, Dr. Key? I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for that
introduction. Welcome. You're welcome. So it's Monday morning.
Yes. Yeah. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Had a great weekend.
Yes, sir. It's good to have you back. Whenever you come on, we have a nice audience that shows up for our podcast. So I'm grateful for that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me. Look, glad to be back. Glad to be back. Yeah, thank you for having me.
So, Farmer Dre, you are a husband and a father.
Yes.
You are a military veteran. Your perspective on what happens in our great nation is probably different from the average person.
Right.
As a military veteran, first of all, thank you for your service.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for your support.
You're welcome. What goes through the mind of somebody who serves in the military when you know you're putting your life on the line?
You say what goes through?
What goes through your mind? Like, what makes you or prompts you to put your life on the line to serve people you don't even know?
Yeah. No, that's a great question. Honestly, just realizing like it's bigger than just you. You know what I mean? Like just realizing, hey, sometimes we have to do stuff that's not just self-serving, but serving others. And like in serving the country, making the country a better place. And understanding, like I say, it's not always about us. It's about serving the greater good. And I also take the same mindset with putting out content. It's not just about me and my family. Like we grow our own food and stuff, but I also want to show other people how to grow food as well. So it's just about, serving people, really. I like to carry that mindset in every walk of life that I'm in, just serving others.
And speaking of serving others, you served in the military, you teach people how to live off the land, and you're a biblical teacher. Yes. What I've learned from you is that you don't just read scriptures, you actually teach people how to apply what they've read to their lives.
Yes.
Absolutely. Why is application important?
Yeah, it's just like one of my favorite scriptures, faith without works is dead. You have, in addition to knowing, you also have to do. So it's not just enough to read and have head knowledge, but you also got to live this thing out. You got to put your faith with your works, and prove what you believe by what you do. And so I take the Bible literally, the laws, the statutes, the commandments, I keep those. I try my best to keep those because, it's and not saying that, if you don't keep them, you're not going to, make it into heaven or nothing like that. But I just feel like it's a reason why the Most High God told us, what to do in his word. And I feel like we should be trying to do our best to do that. So it's not just enough to know, we have to actually do.
Do you think that God or the God of your understanding, the Most High creator, source, energy, universe, however we depend to see a supreme being or creator, do you think that a creator being would want us to rely on the government or to be self-sufficient?
That's a great question. Of course, be self-sufficient because he created us with everything that we need. He created us to be stewards of the earth, from my opinion and my understanding. And so, no, we're not supposed to just rely on the government. We're not supposed to just rely on everyday conveniences that we have. No, we actually have to get out and learn things and do things ourselves because, at any time man wants to take away a lot of your freedoms and you're too dependent, then they can do that. Like that's one of the first weapons of warfare is to try to take out the food source. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, okay. We're listening. We can still hear you.
Let me see if I can turn my camera back on.
Take out the food source. If a person controls your food, if they control your food, they can control you.
Exactly. And so that's why it's important that we learn how to do things ourselves and not just be so dependent on the everyday conveniences that we have. So yes, in my opinion, the Most High God, he created us to know how to do these things ourselves so we won't be relying on anybody who can make us their slave if they want to.
Once you served in the military, I guess once you left, you then worked in another capacity with the government.
Yes.
Talk to us about what went through your mind when the government shut down in 2025 and they were asking people to take early retirement.
Yeah. And it's crazy that you brought that up because, you know, when I came into the government, it was this whole notion of, well, you got a government job, you're good. You know, you're secure. You don't have to worry about being fired or laid off and things like that, like an average company outside of the government. And so, you know, when that happened in 2025, it was just like a shocker, like, wow, they really can lay people off and make all these massive cuts if they just feel like it. And, you know, for people who this was their whole life, they probably felt helpless. But for me, I'm like, I've already, in the back of my mind, thought, well, what if this happens? I already prepared for it. So I wasn't too shocked. It was just, you know, it was a wake-up call. It was a wake-up call for a lot of people because, you know, you had a lot of people who that was their everything, their job, their government job. And so with me, we had already bought property and we had already been preparing to be off grid. So it was just like, okay, now it's time to really do it for real. You know,
to implement.
Yeah, to implement what we've been preparing for this whole time. And
you mentioned the word preparation. You know, proactivity is different from reactivity.
Yes, absolutely.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's very much different. When you react, it's panic, it's anxiety, it's a lot of different feelings that come with reacting to a certain situation. That's why it's always important to just prepare, you know, even a little bit. That's why I tell people on my platform, even if you just learn how to grow a little bit of food right now, even if you just learn how to grow herbs, you know, learn to start small. And at least in the event where something, you know, a disaster happens or the grid shuts down, or like you say, martial law or anything like that, you will have the knowledge of how to survive on a basic level. You'll already be thinking about it. So you won't be as flustered. But the average everyday person who depends on every single convenience, like they can't live without their car, they can't live without AC, they can't live without going to the grocery store to get food, they're going to be the ones reacting and panicking and, you know, going out and probably trying to steal and loot and all that type of stuff. But preparation brings confidence.
I like preparation brings confidence. I love that.
Yeah, it brings confidence. And you're able to see the situation for what it is, and you're able to strategize instead of panicking and reacting. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, preparation is very important.
You said something about the grid shutting down. I hear that. What does that mean, a grid shutdown? I mean, like something literally shuts down? Like
so we have, like, I want to say it's like 3 main power grids in the United States that control like all of the electricity we have. So for instance, it was a few years ago when Texas had that ice storm.
Yeah, I remember.
Their grid shut down. Like there was no electricity and different things like that because, you know, there's like major centers where they really have these grids that control the electricity in a certain region. So if that grid goes down, then that whole region is left without electricity. So let's say we're at war with another country and they decide to attack our, you know, grid. Our grid can go down. So that means no electricity. A lot of the things that we're used to, we won't have.
And you made that reality when you said it just happened a few years ago in Texas. So this isn't something that's just an idea that's out there in the ethers. This really can and has happened. Yeah,
it can happen. Absolutely. And this is why in my private group, we were talking about that a few weeks ago as far as like how to prepare with solar and other natural sources to harvest energy just in the event that we can't depend on, you know, the local electric company for our electricity. Still having a backup source of electricity, whether it's a generator, whether it's solar panels, you know, or whether it's a natural energy source.
And you said something about your private group. I want to just get that out since you mentioned it. The private group, is that the Skool website?
Yes, the Set Apart Tribe in our Skool community. Yep.
So we're going to get into that a little bit later, but I do want to mention it, family. Farmer Dre is the CEO and owner of Set Apart Gardens. He runs this company with his family, and he does have a YouTube channel that we're going to talk about a little later, but he also has a private group if you want to get really into detail how to live off the grid, how to grow your own food, how to prepare your meats. So I'm going to put that in the chat. All of the links we're going to mention today are in the description section. Okay. So thank you so much, family, for 383 people being in the chat. I know you're still coming in. Hit the like button on your way in. We have Farmer Dre here, former military veteran who served our great nation and worked for the government. In 2025, under the government shutdown, he received an alert, an announcement that, you know, there are some offices and jobs that are just going to be downsized or outright disappear.
Yep.
So he had the opportunity to do what, Farmer Dre?
So basically, it was a resignation. You get to resign from your position voluntarily, and they still paid me for like 6 months. You know, but yeah, you can opt to resign early, and I took that opportunity.
And you know, in 2025, President Trump was responding to a Supreme Court announcement that happened June 2024. The Supreme Court had overturned the Chevron doctrine. I know you all hear me talk about this all the time, but the Chevron doctrine had given the government unlimited powers. When the Supreme Court overturned that Chevron doctrine, they went further to say the government can't have unlimited powers. But they said the government that's been on our soil, a lot of it had been infiltrated by people that didn't have our best interests at heart. Some of them were foreign nationals, some of them were United States citizens. But giving them unlimited power had to stop. The Supreme Court went further to say that the government had 447 agencies that were unconstitutional, unlawful, and treasonous. And any judge that went along with the shenanigans of some of these governmental agencies, like forcing us to go by all of their policies, statutes, codes, and legalities, any judge that went along with it, they committed treason. And any judge that knew of a judge that went along with whatever the government was doing committed, and they didn't report it to the president, they committed misprision of treason. So that was decided in 2024. Then 2025, President Trump came back. He created the Sovereign Wealth Fund, which is really just a trust full of, you know, real estate and other assets that will be released to we the people at the right time. But then he put us under a government shutdown. But before he did that, he spoke to military generals all over the world, and he released the National Guard on the ground. This is what I want to ask you, Farmer Dre. Does the National Guard or the military have the power or the authority to actually shut everything down and take control of the government?
Yes, absolutely. So that's what martial law is. Martial law can be declared for a number of reasons. It could be natural disasters. It could be civil unrest. And so when martial law is enacted, the military, they replace the civilian governmental powers. The military replaces them. So the military enforces the laws. You know, they could do curfews, but yeah, they enforce everything. So yes, they will be in charge. You know, if anything like that was to happen, martial law.
I saw that in 2020 when the world was shut down.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yes, the military has that power. They can suspend, and then also during martial law, they suspend your, you know, rights as a citizen. Like, you know how we have your First Amendment, freedom of speech, and all of that. They can suspend those rights in the time of martial law.
Wow. And can they enforce curfew?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, they'll probably set up like checkpoints and different things like that. But yeah, they will enforce curfew.
Good grief.
Yes.
Now we are in the middle of some type of conflict with the United States and Iran. Are you kind of keeping update with that?
Yeah, I've been keeping update. Yeah.
So I know they signed a memorandums of understanding, but I don't think that's really a complete peace treaty.
No, it's not. Because I want to say right after they had those peace talks, you know, there was another attack, you know, in the Middle East, and so they suspended it. And so, because you know they were saying they were going to open up the Strait of Hormuz again, but then they closed it. Yeah, so yeah, it's not a complete thing just yet.
So if it's not a complete thing yet, what type of power does the president or the military have? Like, let's say it's not complete and somebody attacks our grid or somebody attacks something here in America. What kind of power do you know, because you're former military, what kind of power does the military or the President Trump have in that?
Yeah, at that point, you know, they'll most likely probably have like complete power. You know, if that was to happen, we get attacked or the grid goes down or there's like civil unrest or anything like that, they would have complete power, you know, because that would be wartime, of course, if we get attacked on U.S. soil. So yeah, they would have complete power. So
then an emergency broadcast system announcement could happen. You could have a shutdown. Yep. You could have announcements that this is an emergency.
Yep.
Everybody go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was saying all of that you just named. Yeah, that would most likely be the case.
What could that look like in your opinion?
It it would look similar to, you know, the pandemic, the shutdown. It would look similar to that, but it would be probably more so like enforced. You'll probably more so see the military a lot more. You'll see probably all of the National Guard, Reserve, active duty, you know, just enforcing those laws if there's curfews and different things like that. So yeah, and then things most likely will be shut down. So a lot of people would probably, you know, have to learn how to start growing food and different things like that. You probably, I mean, don't get me wrong, the government probably would have like things where, you know, rations and stuff like that. But for the most part, it would be good in a situation like that to know how to grow your own food, to know how to, you know, do some things for yourself at that point.
Yeah, because the last time the world was shut down, when I would go to the grocery store, you would see whole aisles completely empty.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, that's what it would look like though. That's what it would look like. And then a lot of the modern conveniences we have now, like we probably won't have those. So yeah, now is the time to prepare. Like just in case, not saying it will, I don't know, but it's possible. It could happen. Absolutely. So you want to be prepared for that. You want to have backup power source. You want to have, you know, seeds and different things like that that you can grow food for yourself. If you got the space, start getting a little bit of livestock, like some chicken. Start small, things like that. You know, and buy tools and equipment that's gonna, you know, make your life easier as well.
Farmer Dre, I want to thank you so much for taking this time to talk to the Soul Tribe today. And I want to encourage the Soul Tribe to join his, not only just a private group, but go to his YouTube channel at Set Apart Gardens, where you can hear him speak on a daily basis on how to prepare, not just in case of an emergency broadcast system or a shutdown, but how to prepare to live off the land yourself. Because like he said, if they control your food source, they control you.
Absolutely.
If you all are enjoying this conversation, please support Farmer Dre. He is at Set Apart Gardens on YouTube and Facebook. This is his Cash App. It is $SAPGarden1, SAPGARDEN1. Is that correct? That I gave it?
That's correct. Okay. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. We're going to do all we can to support the information, support you and the information that you give us, but you have products as well. Before we get into that, so Farmer Dre, I got an email. You know, I love intel.
Yes.
I got an email, and I'll just, you know, because people send me things that have worked in the military, or they have, they work with the republic that we're trying to restore, our lawful government. So they'll send me email and text. This one is in regards to the Save America Act. Okay. The Save America Act is something that President Trump and the Trump administration is pushing forward to mandate that everybody provides an ID in order to vote. Specifically, a lot of immigrants that, you know, because a lot of immigrants were, you know, they were allowed to come here. Maybe they were seeking a better opportunity, or maybe they just came here because they were recruited to work. But what he found out is that a lot of people that were voting in the elections allegedly did not have any ID. So he's mandating that everybody provides identification to vote. Now, the Democratic Party is pushing back on that because they think that immigrants shouldn't have to provide ID to prove they're a United States citizen. It passed the House, but not the Senate. Gotcha. This has gotten a lot of non-profit organizations upset and involved, NGOs, non-government organizations, even some churches, some organizations like Black Lives Matter, Antifa. For some reason, they want to fight against the Save America Act because they've been, you know, they traditionally have historically supported minority groups, and immigrants are a part of that. But what I got an alert was that if the Save America Act does not pass, then that could compromise the elections because people will be electing that doesn't have like documentation. If it does pass, allegedly that gives President Donald Trump a lot of power because now he's saying we're going to have integrity with the elections, which has been under question, under fire for a long time. The Brunson brothers brought a case against the Biden administration because they alleged that there was a lot of election fraud. So, and this is rhetoric. It could be rumors, you know, it could be true. But the Save America Act means everybody has to provide an ID. If it does pass, you can have a lot of protests, no Kings rallies, Black Lives Matter, Antifa,
right,
the secret society members, the Divine Nine,
right,
sororities and fraternities, black fraternities and sororities can all get involved in stage protests. But a lot of times those protests are infiltrated.
Yeah.
People are just they just want rights, civil rights, human rights, but they can get infiltrated by factions that want to cause chaos.
Yeah, agitators,
Agitators. Can the military and the government shut down things if the protests get out of control?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if it gets out of control, and like I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of these protests, they start off, peaceful and how they supposed to protest, and then like you say, you got people who are maybe paid or whatnot, and they're agitators and they agitate these protests. But yes, if it gets too bad, like kind of what we saw, when was it? With the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and stuff.
2020.
Protests. Yeah, and it's crazy because I know the one they had in Louisville was pretty bad, and I actually saw the aftermath of it because I had to do some military training down there at Fort Knox. So I saw like downtown Louisville how messed up it was. But
that's where I lived at the time. I lived there.
Really?
So, I lived there. It was horrible. Yes. In fact, about 40 to 50% of downtown is still not operating from the protests.
Yeah, because I know when I went down there, it was pretty bad. And that was back in, I want to say like 2020, 21, somewhere around there. But yes, you're absolutely right. It can shut down. They can shut the government down. They can, enact martial law. They can put the military in place to kind of stop that if it gets out of control. And nowadays, I feel like they're already wanting to do that anyways. They're just looking for the right reason to enact the military. Yeah, I feel like that.
Are you at liberty to speak on why they might want to do this?
For control.
Okay.
For control. Order out of chaos type of situation.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah. I feel like.
Go ahead. No.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say I feel like that. So, it's important that, people just move smart. And honestly, I feel like the best way to resist is to start growing food, start being self-sufficient. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. People, they want to protest and exercise their rights, which is their right. But be careful. We saw what happened in the past where you may come out with good intentions, but again, you got people who will infiltrate these things and make it more than what it is. And now everybody in the country suffers because martial law is enacted, curfews are enacted, and the military is now, put in charge. So just be careful.
I want to read to something briefly that I got. It says Trump just locked down America. I don't know that he did. I think this is just, rhetoric, but who knows? So they said on June 28th, which was yesterday, 2026, 9:30 a.m., the Save America Act allegedly passed, and we don't know about it yet. I haven't seen it. I knew it was held up in the Senate.
Right.
They said the mainstream media is ignoring this information. This isn't just another bill. This is a political earthquake. What just happened? The Save America Act, where Trump is asking for everybody to show ID in order to vote, gives President Trump allegedly unprecedented power to purge the federal government or the deep state operatives of 12,000 plus positions. It will give him the authority to declassify 847,000 classified documents, all of them. It would give him the power to prosecute political enemies without statute of limitations. It would give him the power to restructure entire intelligence, including the FBI, CIA, and NSA. It would give him the power to control all federal spending, $8.2 trillion worth, allegedly. It would give him the power to fire any federal employee without cause and to seize the assets for corrupt officials. Now, he did say the other day, if anybody here seeks to harm Americans or cheat Americans, we will find you, we will hunt you down and prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. He said, we will find you, seize your assets, and prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. And he said that after the Trump administration actually convicted 455 medical professionals who committed fraud and were misdiagnosing Americans. And you have a lot of immigrants and foreign nationals here, and this is not even alleged anymore, that are here on fake medical degrees. This is why you have a lot of misdiagnoses, because they were selling fake medical degrees from India to a lot of nationals from that are here from India and China. So this is all documented. So the Trump administration said, we're going to find these people, hunt them down, seize their assets, and prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. But this person then said to me, I've been told by Capitol Hill contacts, Democrats, and I don't want to say Democrats because I think it's just really deep state operatives that work on both sides. They're in complete panic. They tried to block the Save America Act. The vote was 247 Republicans and 18 Democrats. This was a veto-proof majority. So everybody knows that this is over, and that the deep state, Illuminati, secret society, whoever, bloodline families that usurped our lawful republic and they've been controlling the government, they're in panic, and everybody knows their time is over. This aligns with motu proprio, the letter that came out from Pope Francis in 2014, telling President Obama at the time, you need to tell the people that the government has been taken over by deep state operatives that don't have the people's best interests at heart, and that we must all stand down in 2014. But they didn't stand down at that time. So people need to read motu proprio. I have the video on my YouTube channel where the Pope is literally saying our time is up. The government will be taken over by the Grand Army of the Republic, the GAR, the military, and they will weed out the bad apples and seize their assets. Pope Francis told us that in 2014, and here we are, 12 years later.
Wow.
So 847,000 classified documents will be released. Every crime, every cover-up, every conspiracy. The FBI agents who spied on lawful people in place, exposed. The CEI officials who orchestrated coups, exposed. The judges who blocked Trump's agenda to expose, corruption, exposed. If you all want to look at all the forced resignations from deep state operatives, go to resignation.info and you'll see presidents, you'll see prime ministers, CEOs of banks, people at every level in every segment of society that were forced to resign because they were participating in crimes against humanity. That is what inspired President Donald Trump to create Executive Order 13818 to freeze the assets of anybody committing crimes against humanity. So allegedly within 30 days, declassification begins. Within 60 days, prosecutions are announced. Within 90 days, we're going to see arrests allegedly, and within 180 days, convictions. This is an alleged announcement I got. The domino effect begins. The Save America Act triggers a cascade collapse. So we know that, things have been happening in the government on both sides. We know that we're in the middle of a conflict with Iran and the United States. We know that banks have been collapsing over the last 5 years. We know that, a lot of craziness is happening. Yeah. So whether it's conspiracy or not, a conspiracy theory or not, the best thing to do is to prepare. Now, I've said a whole lot, Farmer Dre. You're a former military, you're a military veteran. You are an expert in this area. You live off the land. You and your family, your beautiful wife, and an amazing 4 children, and maybe even some animals along there. Now, I'm going to be quiet and yield the floor to you to tell us whatever it is that you want us before I share that we are grateful to have you here, and we're going to support you by sending you a Cash App gift and donation for taking out your time to $SAPGarden1, $SAPGARDEN1. And now I yield to you.
Most definitely. I appreciate that, Dr. Kidd. And that's a lot. You just taught me some things as well. But this stuff is important to know. You know what I'm saying? It's important to kind of stay on top of this. And I'm one that I don't, necessarily get into the politics either side, but it's important to know what's going on in our government because it's going to trickle down to us eventually. You know what I'm saying? So people can sit here and say, oh, I don't get into all that. But you should at least be knowledgeable. I'm not saying pick a side, but be knowledgeable on what's happening so you can make sure you secure your future and your family's future. So that way you all are prepared. And I'm glad you brought it home to that. Yes, preparation, whatever it is, even if you think it's a conspiracy theory, it never hurts to prepare. It never hurts to sit here and say, okay, what will I do? And see, about 6-7 years ago, me and my wife had that conversation because we watched a video by a Black farmer by the name of Renard Turner. And he was just basically saying most people, they don't have basic life skills and how we're losing, the skills to be able to do for self. And so me and my wife, we kind of asked each other, what would we do in a situation to where we don't have all of these things? We can't just go to the grocery store and get this, or we can't just make a phone call and get this. What would we do? And so that kind of got our wheels turning. And it's man, we got to start learning how to grow food. we got to start, learning life skills. And here's the thing, just learn them on a basic level. Most of our ancestors knew a lot of different things on the basic level. They knew carpentry on the basic level. They knew gardening on the basic level. They knew keeping livestock on the basic level. They knew hunting on the basic level, fishing on the basic level, first aid. We had a whole bunch of remedies and foraging, learning how to identify herbs. All of these things are important that we learn on a basic level, to prepare. So that way we're not always, running to the doctor every time. Because like you just said, with the misdiagnosis of people, you run into the doctor for every little thing and they misdiagnose you, and now your health is taking a toll. How about learning how to start growing some herbs yourself? How about learning how to start identifying herbs? You might have medicine growing in your backyard and not even know it. Like somebody pointed out, I did a video one time, somebody pointed out, they say, hey, you got a whole bunch of goldenrod growing on your property. They say that's healthy. You can use that. You can dry that out. You can make teas, tinctures. And so after doing research, I'm like, wow, I didn't know goldenrod, it can help your, your organs, your liver, your kidneys. It can help you, just in a lot of different ways. And I'm like, I got medicine growing on my property, didn't even know it. So,
wow.
Yeah. So it's like learning all these things that our ancestors already knew, you know what I mean? And that's why like the bug out bag is so very important as well, because that's just a bag that has essentials that you need in the event to where you have to hurry up and, get out or evacuate a situation, or just have to kind of like rely on yourself. At least you already have a little cushion right there. That's another part of preparation, making sure you have cushion, making sure you have, enough food, water, make sure you have things for shelter, protection. All of these different things are very important to have and to know how to operate on a basic level.
So did you want to go ahead and talk about the bug out bag, or do you want to go over it? Because you have some points you wanted to also explain. Which order should we go in? Yeah,
I'll go into the points and then I'll talk about the bug out bags and how people can get them and different things like that. Okay. So the importance of having a bug out bag, I kind of just hit on it, but rapid evacuation. You can use your bug out bag in the event of, let's say, a natural disaster. It could be civil unrest to where you may have to evacuate where you are in the city or different things like that. So, you're able to just get out in the event where you got to get out of somewhere real quick. You could pick this bag up and just leave, and you have the essentials in it, and you don't have to kind of worry about trying to go and get resources, where people is looting and all type of stuff. You already got something to where you can just get out quick. So it's for rapid evacuation. Also, you have the critical survival supplies. So basically, in a bug out bag, you want to have food, you want to have water, and you want to have first aid, just in the case where you may need to, in that first aid, shelter. So basically like a tent or a tarp, or learning how to put up a shelter, because, if you're out in the elements, you need to be able to get out of the elements as well. And then sanitation, that's a major, a point of having in a bug out bag is sanitation. And yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So 72-hour bag. So basically it's enough to last you for 72 hours. Food, water, sanitation, first aid, all that type of stuff. Also, in your bug out bag, you want to have spare medication. So say, you may take insulin or you might have high blood pressure medication. Keep you a little bit extra in there, just in the event that you got to get out, and you'll have that medication. Important documentation, deeds, to your house, different things like that, birth certificates, social security cards, identification, have all that in your bug out bag. And then the last thing is this, why it's important. It gives you peace of mind, knowing, hey, in the event where I got to get out and, me and my family got to get out and we got to survive, I have the peace of mind to know, hey, we got a little bit of a buffer. So while everybody's scrambling and scraping for resources, we already have it.
I love it. Yes.
Yep. So it gives you all of that. And so what me and my wife and our team has done is we put together, I want to say it's 3 different bug out bags, an affordable one, kind of a medium tier, and then we have a premium bug out bag. And they're all at different price points. And what we're going to do is put it together for you. But what you have to do is go to our website, fill out the form. The form is going to send you an email that basically kind of gauges what you need. And then we'll send you an email when, pre-order, when you can pre-order pretty much.
Go ahead. No, I'm listening.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, so when you go to our website, just fill out that form and, let us know basically what you're looking for in a bug out bag. And we'll put together the bug out bag to suit your specific needs, because everybody has different needs as far as like what they want to focus on in their bug out bag. You know, of course, you have the basic one, which is, you know, you got a food source in there, you got a life straw, you know, a water source, and then you got something for shelter. But if you need something more specific, we can put that together for you as well.
I remember the last time you were here, you were talking about essentials that you need for a bug out bag. And then you and I talked about it, and you were like, you know what, it'd be a good idea to, yes, have all the essentials on your website, but also put it together in a bag for the convenience of people. They don't have to try to figure out what do I need exactly, you know? So that was a brilliant concept, brilliant idea, Farmer Dre. I just need to now look for, your wife did send me the website. Now I have to figure out.
It's www.setapartgardens.com.
Okay, let me go do that. www. I think I accidentally erased it. Okay. Oh, it's beautiful.
Divine Waters of Truth just said fire to keep warm, an emergency radio and flashlight. Those are great things to have in a bug out bag. Specifically, the first thing you mentioned, which is fire, and that will be put in it's called a ferro rod, and basically a ferro rod is basically like an unlimited match to where you can, you know, start fires, because knowing how to start fires is very important in a survival situation, especially if it's cold outside. But to cook your food, to boil your water, to purify it, fire is very important. So I'm glad you brought that up, Divine Waters of Truth.
Last time you were here, you actually showed us what was in the bug out bag. Do you have that readily available, or should we just I can send people to that video?
I can go grab it real quick.
Okay, yes, please do, if you have time. So family, this is a very important video today, because we're talking about how to live, you know, off the grid, how to live off the land. Farmer Dre and I have done videos on how to purchase land, how to get loans for land, how to get USDA loans or mortgages. And that's if you want to live like in rural areas. He talked about grants. He talked about loans as well. I'm going to talk in my private group probably Tuesday night or maybe Wednesday about, you know, credit, even though we know credit is being, you know, it's going to be wiped away. But if you need help with your credit, I'm only helping the private group members do that so that you can be in a good place to get a loan for a land. So look at all my videos with Farmer Dre, because he shares valuable information about living off the land, how to buy the land, what kind of businesses you can work on the land, how to prepare your own food. He has classes where he teaches you how to prepare your own meats, you know, all two of things he has. So make sure you go and look at some of those videos that I have with Farmer Dre. We probably have about 3 or 4, maybe two or three other full videos, but I have my son to splice some of those videos so that you all can see them in shorter segments.
Right.
If you're enjoying this conversation and you want to send a gift, but you don't have Cashapp, you can send a gift or donation to his PayPal, which is Dre, DRE, at setapartgardens.com. If you prefer instead, like I do, to use Cashapp, you can send something to his Cashapp at $SAPGarden1, SAPGARDEN1. So Farmer Dre, you're going to tell us what's in the bug out bag, and I'm going to show the family your website in the interim. Here it is. Set Apart survival bags are coming soon. It's at setapartgardens.com. Family, you will put in your name, your email address. Click this button to learn more about survival, and you'll be getting notifications and information about this, the bug out bag. But on his website, you can meet Dr. You have a degree or information or license?
I have a bachelor's.
You have a bachelor's degree, and you also are certified to teach biblical principles.
Yep.
You can meet the family. You can see what they're doing. Food. They're talking about food freedom. You can contact them. They have blogs. They have an academy. And this is about not only just survival, but family continuity. I love this. Bringing the family together to be self-sufficient and to support each other. How amazing is this? You can join a tribe by hitting this button here, and you'll get access to homesteading guidance, homeschooling support, The Department of Education, I told you, is being dismantled. This is why $1.7 trillion of student loan debt was transferred from the Department of Education to the United States Treasury Department, because the Department of Education is a part of the government. It will go away. People don't believe this. Almost all 447 government agencies will go away. That's why people took early retirement. People don't know this. That's why we're now under a partial government shutdown. The Department of Education had their assets frozen by the Trump administration, and he moved that money over to the states so that you can homeschool or create private schools. If you want to learn how to run a private school, not a private, but a homeschool, or just get support and gain insight into homeschooling systems, structures, and curriculum, join Set Apart Gardens. They'll teach you about butchering education. Okay. He can take you from the beginning, the idea, that conceived idea, vision that you have in your mind, to actually securing the land. You know, he might not give you all, you got to join a private group, because if he's going to give you all that information, how to preserve and protect your land once you get it. Okay. How to support your spouse, because you're in this together. How to support the children, how to grow your food and butcher your meats. All this you would get, as well as the bug out bag. Amazing service provided to the Soul Tribe. We are so honored that you and your wife are the farmers of the Soul Tribe here, and the preparation guiders. So, okay, bug out bag, Farmer Dre. What does it look like?
Yes, absolutely. So, first thing first, make sure you have a first aid kit in your bug out bag. So each person bug out bag need to have one of these. Just in the event, you know, you get hurt or you may need, you know, treatment, have one of these. Next thing is a life straw. This basically right here will take any fresh water source and it'll purify it for you by drinking it through the straw. So you don't necessarily have to purify your own water. You could just use one of these, and it lasts for a pretty long time. So you're able to have a fresh, you know, water source with this life straw right here. Another thing is a multi-tool. So we call them Gerbers in the military, but basically it's a multi-tool where you have a knife, you have pliers on it, screwdriver, you know, different things like that, just in the event where you got to fix something or build something or whatever the case may be. So having a multi-tool. You also want to have some sort of a food source that is long lasting, like an MRE, freeze-dried foods, different things like that. So I recommend going with MREs. This is what we had in the military. And so you want to have a food source, and you want to have a few of those in your bug out bag. I got these are water purification tablets as well. This is in addition to the life straw, because water is so very important. A lot of times we don't necessarily know how important water is, but you can't go without water but for so long. So you need water. So as many things that you can have: life straw, water purification tablets, knowing how to purify your water. That's something that we also teach in our private group as well. Another thing you want to have is a ferro rod. Let me see if I got it in here. Yep, here it is.
How important is it to make sure you have a water source when you're looking for land to buy?
Oh, that's vital to buying land. You don't want to buy land without a water source, because without water, you won't have a homestead. You won't have a farm. How would you be able to even grow food without water? So that's definitely something that I teach as far as when you're buying land. Make sure you're able to dig a well if it doesn't already have a well on it. Make sure you have those rights and it has water on it. So that's one of the main things you need to look for.
Okay.
Yep. And so next thing, fire starter. This is a ferro rod. And basically, like I say, it's like an unlimited match. And so basically just, you see those sparks. So just knowing how to start a fire, because the elements can kill you as well, or unalive you. I'm sorry for using that word, but the elements can unalive you as well. It could be too cold, it could be too hot. So knowing how to build a shelter, knowing how to start a fire so you can cook your own food. Of course, flashlight, you know, so you can be able to see in the dark. One thing that I don't have in here that I need to have in here is either a tarp or a pop-up tent. Because that'll keep you out of the rain. You know, let's say, if you're in an environment where it's raining or it's snowing or something like that, you can just pop up a little pop-up tent, build you a shelter. That way the rain isn't on you, the elements aren't on you. So those are some of the key things you want to have in the bug out bag. Additionally, I would say things like having seeds in your bug out bag. You know, having a few different seeds that you can grow food, a fishing pole or some sort of like fishing line where you can catch your own fish, and different things like that. And trying to think if there's anything.
Can we get that from you? Can we get seeds from you, fishing rod and all that?
Yeah. I can make sure that's in your bug out bag if that's what you want.
Now, where do you have all these items if people don't necessarily want the bug out bag that you have provided? They just want certain things.
Yeah. So if you go to my storefront, my Amazon storefront, I have a list of everything that you will need in the bug out bag. Okay. You can just pick out whatever it is you want to buy. Yep. If you don't want the whole thing.
So I'm looking for that. Looking to see if I could find out where your wish list is. I know you sent me the link.
Yes. Let me see. It should be. Let me try to find it.
Hit the like button, family, and please support Farmer Dre. Make sure you get your bug out bag. Farmer Dre, I'm going to bring you on another time this month or in July to only talk about the bug out bag and essentials that you have, because I want to focus on that as well, because we need I want to make sure we're prepared. We need to be prepared.
Yes,
now,
absolutely.
I have a question for you as we look for this link.
Uh-huh.
How many bug out bags do we need? So I have many adult children and grandchildren and me. So I have 8 in total adult children. 4 of them that live here in the same city, 4 live in another city. So, and I have grandchildren. Say you have a family of 5. Do you need a bug out bag per person, or?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, a bug out bag for each person. Yep. That way each one of you will have 72 hours worth of food, water, and supplies. Yep. So a bug out bag for each person. Now the kids, they may not need everything that an adult bug out bag has, but they do need that water source, that food, that life straw, and those type of things. But as far as like the multi-tool and stuff like that, they don't need that, but they will need like the basics in the bug out bag.
Now, what type of food is in that bug out bag?
So what I have is MREs, but you can also do like regular freeze-dried foods or long storage foods. But I like to go for MREs because they usually come with whole meals and they have snacks in here and different things like that. So one of these will last you an entire day. So it's basically a lot of calories in one MRE. So let's say go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
I was gonna say, so I recommend you at least have 3 of these in your bug out bag. So that's 3 days worth of meals. And like I said,
that's what I was gonna ask. How many days? Okay.
Yeah, it comes with like I say, a main entree, sides, and also snacks in there as well. And then like coffee and different things like that. But and it comes with a heater. You can heat your food up and different things like that. But this is a lot of calories in one pouch. So if you got at least 3 of these in a bug out bag, that's what you should go with.
Outside things like toilet paper, should we be accumulating now we don't know how much. How much to get.
Yeah, I would say like having a pack of like wipes, you know what I'm saying? Like, your standard pack of wipes, having a pack of those in your bug out bag as well. That should last you at least 72 hours, a standard pack of baby wipes or whatnot.
And another thing, I don't know if you mentioned already, a grill, charcoal, would that be good?
I feel like that would be too much for the bug out bag.
No. I mean, just in terms of preparation, should we have that? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, tomorrow in our private group, that's what we're going to be talking about is cooking outside, starting fires, different things like that. Because matter of fact, we were hit with a hurricane about 2 years ago and power was out for like 5 days. But luckily, I know how to cook outside. I know how to grill. I know how to, heat up the charcoals and everything like that. So yes, cooking outside, having a grill, and knowing how to do that is very, very important for, preparation purposes.
I'm glad you said that. And you're going to be talking about that in your private group. So I'm trying to find your Skool link. Let's see, here it is. Family, if you are interested, and I strongly encourage you to join a private group, because some of the information that he gives out in the public, he's going to put some of that in the private group because, some of the things, sometimes people just want to have a small community or a large community full of people that just want that information. When you put everything out in the public, it's everybody listening to it. And, some people may not really appreciate what you put out, but some of the key things that you need to learn to live off the grid, you're going to learn in the private group. And you will have, and he has Zoom calls. So you'll have other farmers that are in this group, other homesteaders, from the beginning level all the way up to the expertise level that are in this private group. talking about their challenges, their triumphs, their victories. They're asking questions. Farmer Dre is giving an answer to those questions. And professionals that will come to the group, they're going to not necessarily, all the professionals won't be on the public channel, but they'll come to the private channel to ask questions like, how do you protect your land?
Yes.
How do you keep your land from people that want to sue you? How do you protect all your assets? All this stuff. How do you secure your land? What type of loans can you get? That information that's only for people that are really interested, that's going to be in a private group. So I pulled up the link. Can you all see that on your end?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, and I'm also going to put a link in the chat for you all, as well as it's in the description section already. It's only $15 a month. I think it's a very great investment. And he'll tell you later. Do you have time to talk to us about the benefits of being in a private group other than what I said?
Absolutely, yes. So in addition to what you said, so we have 2 Zoom calls a week at 7:30. So Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have 2 Zoom calls. It's interactive. So we're all able to come together, share knowledge. Like you said, we have other farmers in there, experts, homesteaders. So we're all learning from each other. It's not necessarily just me talking at you. We're all having a conversation. We're all learning. We're tackling topics, everyday topics that we need, to know and how to prepare and different things like that. But in addition, you have direct access to me, my wife. Like you said, we can teach you how to process your own meat. We can teach you how to grow food. And if you got any questions or any concerns, we also have a homeschool curriculum from kindergarten through 5th grade. So if you homeschool your kids and you're looking for a curriculum, we actually have that in our tribe for free. And any type of workshops we do, whether it's processing animals, whether it's gardening, whether it's, getting into how to put your land in a trust, different things like that that's coming up, you will have access to all of that, as well as exclusive content, early content that we drop on YouTube. You have access to all of that.
Farmer Dre, so what about people that maybe they don't have time or don't necessarily want to join the group? Can you offer some of those services separately, individually? Because I know people who would want access to the school curriculum, but they don't necessarily want the other information. They're not interested in farming. Can you, or do you sell those things individually, or would you consider that? If you
Yes, I would definitely consider that. We could sell those things individually. So if you want to just get the homesteading curriculum, or as a matter of fact, I forgot to mention, we also have a survival ebook that we just finished. So you guys can access that as well. If you don't want to join the tribe, you can get it for $20. If you do want to join the tribe, you get it for free. So we can offer those things separate as well. The curriculum, the workshops. If you want to buy that, we can offer that.
The ebook, what is that? That's about how to survive.
Yes, it's a survival guide. So basically, everything that I mentioned with the bug out bag and just being prepared, we combined all that information with more information that you'll need, and so we can put it in an ebook as well.
That's awesome.
That you can, access.
So you are on Facebook, Instagram, Skool. You have a website, setapartgardens.com. You have an Amazon storefront. That's what I need to bring up.
Yes, we're on TikTok as well. We're on all platforms.
I don't know if I have you. If I got that.
No, I didn't send it, but I can send it to you at a later time. But yes, we're on TikTok. It's Set Apart Gardens on TikTok.
And so you're Set Apart Gardens on all social media.
Yep.
Okay. And family, all of these links are in the description section of the video. So make sure you look at the description. And I want you to look at, let me see, where's your Amazon storefront? I think that's important. What is on the Amazon storefront exactly?
So I have books that I recommend for self-sufficiency. We have bug out bag essentials where you can go in there and pick out different things, or you could buy the whole list and compile your bug out bag on that. We also have things you would need if you want to start processing your own meat. So we have a bunch of different collections where different things. If you want to get into chickens, we have things for that as well.
I see, the swords, the prep essentials, basic survivals, sheep essentials. Wow. Okay.
So if you want to start raising sheep, we got essentials you'll need for that. If you want to get into butchering, we have essentials that you need for that, like as far as what you will need to process your own meat at home.
This is great. This has been amazing. I'm so grateful that, you're not only a farmer, but you're a military veteran. That says a lot. That means you served this country. You care about people. You put your life on the line for this country. And so you are the best person, in my very strong opinion, to speak on how to survive and live in the case we have an emergency that, you know, could come on our lands. We said a lot. Do you have time for questions to
Yes,
answer?
absolutely. Yes.
Any questions you have, family, please at this time take advantage of having Farmer Dre, a very busy man, having him here on this show to ask him questions.
Yes,
Somebody said,
and I want to say this too. Don't ever think that it can't happen to America. Like a lot of times we look at things that happen in other countries where they experience turmoil and collapse and different things like that. Don't ever think it can't happen to America. Just because we haven't experienced nothing too crazy yet. So you got a lot of people where this information are going one ear and out the other because they're like, you know, that can't happen here. But no, it absolutely can. And we see things happening now. And so it's best to prepare just in case it does or doesn't happen. But don't ever think that the things that you see happening in other countries can't come knocking at your door.
Because I had the shock of my life on 9/11.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
And we are in the 25th anniversary of that 9/11 now.
Yes, absolutely. So we saw little things and different things like that happen, but quickly after we're kind of like, you know, rocked back to sleep a little bit because things go back to normal. People kind of get complacent, but it's important that we don't be we're not complacent. You know, if you just go ahead and buy the stuff now and just, even if it's just sitting in the back of your closet, at least that's peace of mind. You know, hey, in the case of emergency, I got a bug out bag. I got seeds. I got a seed vault. I got this. I got that. So even if you're not using it every day, it's just important to have these things and learn some of these skills on the basic level.
Do you teach how to shoot the gun?
Yes, we have a section for that in our tribe where we talk about guns and weapons.
I love that. Now, which amendment is that?
That's your Second Amendment right.
Second Amendment right. So you offer classes in that? Do you have? I don't know. Can people shoot on your land? I don't know if.
We don't have it to where you can shoot on our land. But we do. We will do a workshop soon, just teaching you basics for weapons. You know, what to buy, what to look for, what calibers for what, and even how you can learn how to be proficient with your weapon. Certain drills that I was taught in the military, where you don't even have to go out and shoot. It's a drill that you can learn just how to control your breathing and your trigger squeeze, and you don't even have to go out and shoot at a range. You can learn that just doing it at home.
Wow.
Yep.
That's important. Somebody was saying in the chat that women need to learn that because how to protect themselves.
Absolutely. I'm adamant on my wife about that. You know, I taught my wife about weapons, how to use weapons and different things like that. Because, you know, especially for women, it's crazy times right now. You want to be able to protect yourself because people are crazy out here.
That's true.
And you don't never want to be a target for anyone.
Yes, sir. Somebody says, who is this? The Divine Waters of Truth. Thank you for being here. That's another moderator in the chat. Thank you, Divine Waters. Thank you, Dr. Kia and guests, for this valuable conversation. Knowledge is power.
Yes.
I agree. Any questions, family? I agree. This is another moderator. This is Sister Janine. She's been with us for 5 years moderating our chat. She says, our group has a lot of amazing people with great knowledge. We will be bringing us all together soon. Yep, 9/11 was a shocker. I agree. Any questions for Farmer Dre about?
I see somebody just posted a question.
Okay, thank you.
And just like that says, what is the smallest recommended amount of land to consider if you want to start farming on a smaller level? I would say the smallest amount of land is 1/4 of an acre is good. You know, a lot of people think when you're buying land, oh, I need 5 acres, I need 10 acres. Man, you could do a lot on an acre. You could do a lot on 1/4 of an acre. Let's just say you want to keep chickens, start your garden and a few fruit trees. You could do that on 1/2 of an acre. You know, but if you want to have land you can grow into, I would say start with at least 1 acre, because then you can even have larger livestock on that 1 acre, whether you want to get goats or sheep or even a cow. You know, you can raise on 1 acre. But I would say anywhere from 1/4 of an acre to 1 acre, that's the minimum amount of acreage to start with. Because 1 acre is large. It's pretty large.
Is it? How large is it? Did you say once it's like a football field?
It's a football field, yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. So just imagine you put a house in the middle of a football field and then all of that space around it. So you can have, you know, you can have a garden, you can have areas where you keep chickens, smaller livestock, you can have an orchard, you can keep bees, you can dig a small pond, all on 1 acre.
Now, what type of loans are available to buy land? It's more than just a traditional loan, yes, that you can get?
Yeah, you have you know, commercial loans that you could do through the USDA. I want to say through the USDA, you can go through them and get loans. You also have like rural loans where you can go and take out a loan, but it's a shorter term, so it'll cost, you know, a little bit more a month. You also have, if you're a veteran, you got your VA loan. You can purchase a home on land, or you can use what they call a one-time close loan, which you can buy the land first and get your home built on the land if you're a veteran.
Really?
Yes.
If you're a vet only.
Yeah, if you're a veteran. Well, yeah. But you also have different programs within the USDA. If you qualify, where you can get a loan and you can develop that land. I want to say it's called a rural land loan, where you can take out the loan and you can develop the land and get your house built on it and different things like that.
This is valuable. I'm going to keep on going with the questions, but if you're interested, family, in supporting Farmer Dre, make sure you go to his private group, which is that link is in the description section. Make sure you get that bug out bag, or several of them. So you'll go to the website, you'll sign up for information, letting them know that you're interested, and then when the bug out bags are completely available, they'll come back and let us know. In the meantime, if you appreciate, I'm going to my Cash App. If you appreciate this information that Farmer Dre is giving out, please, family, consider just go ahead and give him a donation. I'm going to send you a donation right now to $ Set Apart Garden 1. Let me see.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to definitely order the bug out bag.
Yes, and I was going to say as well, you know, I want to do a broadcast where we're in the garden and we're just talking about, you know, different things you can grow as beginners. Like that's easy to get into, because I get a lot of comments on my videos as far as, well, I don't have a green thumb. But here's the thing, there are some crops that you can start growing where they're like, you know, easy to grow. They're foolproof. So even if you don't got a green thumb, like they'll still grow. So I want to go into like what are the easiest crops to start getting into growing, especially for survival scenarios, because a lot of people don't realize, like, you can just in 5-gallon buckets you get from the store, Lowe's or wherever, you can grow potatoes in there. And potatoes, potatoes are, you know, a crop you can grow any time of the year, whether it's cold or hot, it don't matter. You can grow potatoes, and those are also calories. They're calories.
I was going to ask you if they're healthy potatoes. Okay. Yeah,
potatoes, sweet potatoes. You know, they have a lot, you know, minerals you need, and also they're filling, their calories. And usually what I tell people in a survival situation, grow calories, grow things that are going to get you through. Winter squash varieties, those things last for a long time. They have a long shelf life. So grow calories in a survival scenario. But I want to do a live broadcast where we're talking about that.
Together, or in the private group, right?
No, together. We could do that together for the people. Actually, I got a real popular video talking about the top 5 crops to grow for survival. So you can check that out on my page. Okay. And we can also do a live video on that if you would like.
Why am I not seeing Set Apart Garden? I'm going to my Cash App.
SAP Garden 1.
Okay. $
SAPGARDEN 1.
GARDEN. Because I know we gave before. Maybe I'm spelling something wrong. Set. Who's that barking?
Oh, those are my we breed German Shepherds as well. So those are my dogs in the background.
So that means you sell them?
Yes, I have puppies available right now.
My mom wants she's always talking about, I don't know why, German Shepherds. What's special about German Shepherds?
They're the 3rd most intelligent dog in the world. They're very protective over their family. So they'll protect your kids. They'll protect you. They're very loyal. And, you know, that's the reason why the police use them. Military uses German Shepherds. They're very intelligent, easy to train, and they'll be your best friend.
I love that. I'm on Set Apart Garden 1. Family.
Did you put, it's not Set Apart, it's SAP Garden 1. So
that's it. I'm sorry. Okay, family, if you are enjoying Farmer Dre, please ask him a question. Please feel free to send him.
Let me see if there's any questions in the chat.
Do you ever do a video where you're showing people your gardens or your
Oh yeah.
land?
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Yes. I live stream a lot, and that's where we're in the garden mostly doing work in the live stream. So if you
Okay.
go to my page, my last few live streams have been in the garden.
Okay. Oh, I do see you. It comes under DeAndre Wilson.
Yes.
Family, I'm gonna send you some money. God bless me this week, so I'm gonna send you 200.
Wow, that's amazing. I appreciate that, Dr.
Of
Kia.
course. So we're gonna start it off be an example of being a good steward, of what God blesses you with. Part of that is giving.
That's true.
Part of being a good steward, not just managing well, budgeting, but it's also giving to those who contribute to you or giving to those who are in need, blessing people. Like I told you earlier, I grew up in the church. We were taught muzzle not, and you're a farmer, muzzle not the ox that treadeth out the corn.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
As a biblical teacher, what does that mean?
Muzzle basically the worker is worthy of their wages. Basically don't muzzle the ox when they treading out the grain. Like let them eat too while they tread, and like don't muzzle them. Don't stop them from trying to eat as well. So it's the same thing with people who may be giving you their spiritual gifts. Don't deny them what they need in the flesh when they're giving from their spiritual gifts and pouring into you. So basically the worker is worthy of their wages. Give people what they're due. Just like you expect people to serve you and sow into them as well.
Sow into other people. Here you go. So
Thank
hopefully
you so much, Dr.
you're
Kia.
welcome. It's my great pleasure to support anybody that shares their wisdom, knowledge, and information with the Soul Tribe. So Soul Tribe, please do me a favor. He has a wife. He's only 31, right?
Yes, 31.
31 years young. He has a wife and 4 children.
Yes.
And he's a young man that's living off the land and leading by example. So I encourage you, family, to support him and his family. This is how they make their living. They're not just feeding themselves and their children, homeschooling their children. They're teaching the world about how to do the same. So any other questions, family?
I thought somebody had a question about dogs.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Oh no, somebody asked about do we go over canning food like the Amish do? That's actually something that we're going over in the tribe right now. We have some people who are in the tribe. They're master herbalists. People who can food. People who are into like woodworking, like milling their own lumber. So that's one of the topics we'll be discussing as far as canning foods and preserving food in the tribe.
That's in the private group, and that private group is $15 and $15 a month. Now to get premium information, at some point you might, I don't know if you're going to offer like another tier for like, where you actually like preserving your assets or, bringing in advisors on certain other information, some other things. So family, you want to get in now at the level that you can, $15 only a month. We
also have a private group in YouTube. It's $1.99, so $2 a month as well. So you can join my YouTube community, and a lot of the things that we go over in our private community, we'll post on YouTube. So as we're learning canning and we're learning about different things as far as living off the land, that is exclusive content, we'll post that in our YouTube group, which is only $2 a month as well.
And I want to drive home the importance of the bug out bag. Now I happen to be aware. I was aware that we could possibly have a shutdown. My son was a trucker, so he was getting information of what to do in case of a scenario where there was a curfew. This was way before they were talking about curfew shutting down the world. He was like, "Mom, I got this notification that truckers can still operate in case of curfew." He's like, "Why are they talking about curfews?" I'm like, "I don't know, but we better pay attention."
Yeah.
So we got, food, water, toilet paper, all these supplies that my grandmother had taught. But there were a lot of people that weren't prepared. And even though I came on my social media platform, I went on radio stations, I, talked on my platform, prepare. People made fun of me. They say, "You're not a real doctor. Who do you think you are? You don't know anything. You got your degree in economics and social sciences." I'm like, economics is important. But you know what I'm saying? You got a master's degree in counseling. You're crack. You're crack. I'm saying they did a whole campaign on Twitter, smeared my name, all on Facebook. It was horrible. But you know what happened a few months later?
What?
The whole world shut down.
And you know what? I want to speak to that. And thank you, Theola, for that Cashapp. Yes, thank you so much. But I want to talk about that. It was the same thing with me. People were calling me crazy too. And you know, right before the war, you know, the what happened with the pandemic and everything, I was buying a lot of things like crazy. One of the specific things I was buying was ammo. That's something you want to have in your bug out bag as well. Extra ammunition, along with your weapon. But I was buying a bunch of different things, and my wife was like, "Why are you buying this?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just feel something in my spirit." And like people thought I was crazy, and I was telling people, "Hey man, y'all want to prepare now." And at that time, we were living in Richmond, Virginia. We were living in the suburbs, and we had a garden back then. We had chickens and stuff back then. So really? I've always been about prepping and just having some sort of food source on the land. Hey, at least I got chickens that provide me eggs every day. That's a protein source. At least I have a little garden that's providing me tomatoes and cucumbers and this and that. And so I was thinking about that back then. But people will call you crazy until reality hits, and then they'll be like, "Man, I should have listened." Yeah. So I'm just glad, you know, that you expressed that, because people out here, they think, "Oh man, y'all are loony, y'all are this." Okay, well, we seeing what's going on behind the scenes. And one thing about it, two things for sure: when things hit the fan, don't come looking to me, because I told you what to do. I gave you a warning beforehand. So don't come looking to me to exhaust my resources that I've taken the time to prepare, because you were too lazy, or you didn't believe it would happen. So yeah, a lot of people won't listen, sadly, but that's why we have to go even harder just to push out the message.
So one last time, you know, before we answer more questions and then close out, why is it important to have this bag? Just anything you want to say about the bug out bag, the things that's in it is important. The clothes, I mean, the stores could be closed. You know, anything you want us to know to drive home the point that we need this bug out bag.
Yes. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. It's peace of mind. Remember when the pandemic happened and the shelves were empty, people was trying to find toilet paper. Yeah, you can find hand sanitizer nowhere. Sanitation things. True. Go ahead and buy those things now. And it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it and wishing you had it. Even if, let's just say, that bug out bag may sit in the back of your closet for 5 years. At least you know, okay, I got it just in case of an emergency. So I'm able to, you know, have a little bit of food. I'm able to have this, that, and the third, and I won't have to worry about it. So more so, it's just peace of mind. And again, you don't want to be that type of person in the day where you need it and you looking at people and you trying to, "Hey, do you got this?" or "Hey, do you got that?" Because people, one thing about humans, we're selfish. And if we got resources in a time of an emergency, we're not trying to share that with nobody else. Woo! So you can't say
you're being selfish, Farmer Dre.
You got to be. You got, just like on the airplane, they tell you if something was to happen and these things eject, the mass eject out of the ceiling, put yours on first before you try to put your neighbors on. Ooh. Because if you don't put yours on first, you'll pass out trying to put theirs on.
I see.
So how can I pour from an empty cup if I'm constantly, if you poking a hole in my cup, you poking a hole in my cup, I can't pour from an empty vessel. So I gotta be selfish enough to provide for myself so I can give to people the extras that I do have. So I kind of got to be selfish a little bit, and we all got to be like that. Because what's the point of you preparing a bug out bag and somebody just come and take your resources?
And you give, and that's why you're giving so much of your time right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're thinking ahead and giving all this information right now, because when it SHIT hits the fan,
correct.
Okay, you ain't gonna be around. You ain't gonna be on YouTube saying, "Hey, everybody, come over here."
No, we gonna be living this thing out. You know,
they gonna thug it out.
You say what?
You gonna thug it out?
Oh yeah, we gonna thug it out for sure. We gonna be thugging it out here. We gonna be out here planting extra crops. And look, this is not to say we're not gonna try to help people in that day, but it's only so much help you can do without the person trying to help themselves. You got to help me to help you.
Woo! Come on through here. So you can go to setapartgardens.com, family. Want to really drive this website out to the community. Share this video, like and subscribe to the channel. More importantly, go to setapartgardens.com. You can go to the website to get your bug out bag, to learn different things about homesteading, butchering, homeschooling. All that is important. As the government Okay, if you don't believe the government is going to completely close, at least know that we are currently under a partial government shutdown.
Yes.
Farmer Dre, am I telling the truth? Are we
You
under?
are.
Okay.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, absolutely. We are under a partial shutdown. The government hasn't fully opened yet. And I want to say, just like how every few months they got to go in and vote to keep the government open. You know, I feel like we're still in that kind of situation where it can shut down at any time, which is why I'm glad I don't work for the government no more, because that used to be a huge worry. Because if you work for the government shut down, you don't get paid. So yeah,
wait. You work for the government shut down, you don't get any money.
No, you don't get money. You don't get paid. Even if you're an essential worker, you will still have to come to work, and you may not even get paid. But when the government opens, they'll back pay you, of course. But during that time, and this is why a lot of people, like, they used to be so worried, because they didn't have money. They didn't have, you know, the proper preparation. They didn't have money just in case the government shut down. They didn't have things just in case the government shut down. So you don't want to be too dependent on anybody outside of yourself for your basic needs.
One of our members from the, what is this? Another Instagram account says, who is this? This is Empress Blue Flame. Thank you so much, Empress, for speaking. She said, she said God's favorite daughter. Oh, God's favorite daughter, Dr. Kia. Thank you so much. And then we have I Am Medicine Woman said, people called us crazy for years. Home birthing, chickens in the hood. They had homeschooling and living off the land. Learning self-sustainability was something they did in the hood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And people called her crazy, medicine woman, but they continue. Yeah. So you can do this living in the urban community in the hood?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You know, you can keep chickens and stuff like that. A lot of neighborhoods, you can keep chickens. You just can't have a rooster, but you can keep a few hens in the backyard. Of course, you can start a garden and different things like that. But I want to speak to a point that she just said in the beginning. Home birthing. With my last child, my last son, we did an at-home birth. And of course, we had a midwife come and everything like that. But it's so very important, because especially in the, you know, Black community, back in the days, that's what a lot of our women did. They were midwives. And so that's what they were used to doing, delivering children at home. I feel like that needs to come back as well. If we're talking about living out the land, self-sufficiency, you know, having that skill to be a midwife, you know, to care for pregnant women is a skill that we need to bring back as well.
Wow.
And shout out to Ian for the Cashapp. I appreciate it.
God bless you, family. Thank you, Soul Tribe, for supporting our military veteran who served our great nation and the farmer of the Soul Tribe. He is an educator. He is a biblical teacher. He does have a degree. Where did you get your degree in, your college degree?
Biblical studies and theology. I went to Liberty University.
Okay. What made you go into studying the Word of God?
You know, just wanting to know for myself what the scripture said. Of course, like a lot of us, we grew up in church, and I did. Yes. My father's actually a pastor, and so he's a PK. You just kid. So my father's actually a pastor, and so I always just had questions, and I just wanted to know for myself. And so, you know, I started reading my word, and then upon getting out for active duty in the Army, I chose to go and get my degree in biblical studies and theology, so I could just understand the word of God on a real level, and not just depending on somebody to come and deliver you a sermon and preach you happy. No, I want to know for myself what it says.
That's perfect. You know, and Chief Maxson here, he said, and you can't be dependent on Jesus either to save you, because, you know, it's even the scripture says, save yourselves from this wicked generation, and use the word untoward generation. Why would God or the Son of God tell people to save themselves?
Yeah. Because it's faith with works. It's not just faith without works. See, this the thing. You gotta meet God halfway. You know, you can't just sit here and just be dependent for Him to come and save you out of everything. You gotta work. You gotta do things as well. You gotta prepare. It's just like the wise and the foolish virgins. You know, you had 5 virgins that had their lamps full with oil and they were prepared. And then you had the foolish ones who said, well, we're gonna wait, and this and that and the third. And it's like, but when the bridegroom came, they had to go and refill their lamp. So it's like, be prepared, take action. You know, it's not just enough to oh, well, you know, I'm gonna just pray and trust God. Okay, but you got to do work too. Faith without works is dead. The Bible says that clear as day. And
you know, when the bridegroom came and he was ready to say, you know, come into the feast, As you said, the 5 that were prepared, they went in. The
They
5
went in.
that were unprepared, they banging on the door at the
They
last
bang-
minute, let us in. What did the 5 prepared virgins that went to the feast say to the unprepared when they were begging them to help them?
They was like, nah, because if we give you ours, we not gonna have enough for us. That's the same thing with the bug out bag. If I give you what I got in my bug out bag, I'm not gonna have enough for myself and my family.
Ooh.
So that's why you got to prepare too. See, yeah, the bridegroom, he's great, he's this, he's that. And yes, he has the power to fill your lamps, but you got to go and fill your lamps and wait for him. And when he comes, then you can come into the supper and get everything that you need. But you got to do something first. So yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. And then that doesn't mean you're a bad person or mean or anything, but this is the opportunity that we can avail ourselves. And as he said, you can get little by little. You don't have to get everything all at once. If you can afford it, get everything all at once. But if you want to get little by little, then you can go to his Amazon website and you can do that. Do you offer any consultations or do you just do that?
I
but
do
that's
offer consultations. Yeah, I have a Calendly. I forgot to give you the link, but I have a Calendly where you can book a consultation with me on the Zoom call.
I love that. And I'm sure there's a fee. Yes, there should be, because we pay for what's valuable to us. You know, I would say things like, oh, people can't afford, you know, I want to do everything for free. But then I was like, you know, I know my sons were like, but you're giving your energy and your time and your expertise. You're worthy of something. And then I would notice that I'm a white lady. I like getting my hair done. I noticed that even I might spend $200 on a hairdo. It might not be a lot to somebody else, you know, or it might not even look that great, but I would spend that. I would spend $50, $60 to get my nails done. I had people that say their girlfriends or wives spend upward to $900, $1,000 for a hairdo. We pay for what we can afford and what's important to us.
Come on now, that's so very true. Like, and you should look at the things that you pay for as investment. So if you're paying for a bug out bag, that's an investment. If you're paying, you know, for this information or the Soul Tribe, you know that you're getting something in return. You're investing in something. Just like you said, we pay for what we want. So when we look at it like, okay, I'm getting something back, I see the value in it. We can't always give stuff away for free. You know what I mean? Because again, like I say, people go out and buy things that's important to them. You go and spend $15, $20 on Chick-fil-A. But you're telling me if I'm teaching you how to survive or what to buy or intricate knowledge, like you said, I'm using my energy for, then you should see that as something that's worthy of paying for.
And I absolutely do. And that's why I send you a donation when you come, and I'm going to get the bug. I want several. I might not get as many as I want right now until payday, but I'm going to get me some of those bug out bags. There's somebody, you all can't see the Instagram account, but this person, Chris Bay, thank you so much for commenting, says the EBS or emergency broadcast system announcement is coming really soon. Indeed, brother, because some people will fail to listen to the warning, but he says he knows that something is coming soon. You know, and there's a lot of people that say they can feel it.
Yeah. It's definitely spiritual. I feel like something is happening too. You know, people can, I feel like something is going to happen. I don't know what it is, but that's why I've been just going so hard with, especially telling people to start your garden right now. It's no longer an option, in my opinion, to not have a garden. At least at least you should have that in a bug out bag. Start a garden, start learning how to grow some food right now, even if it's just a few crops, because we don't know what's on the horizon. And we don't know if we're going to be in charge of having to provide 100% for ourselves. And so if we are, we want to be as prepared as possible and at least have a head start.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you said you can grow it in the hood, you can grow in the urban communities. Can you grow stuff in your house?
Yes, absolutely. You could buy grow lights and you can grow stuff in your house. Under those grow lights. If you have a balcony, you can plant things on your balcony in containers or buckets or whatever. But yeah, it's where there's a will, there's a way. If you don't have a lot of space, you can buy grow towers, which are like these vertical towers, and you can plant in those as well. But just starting to grow some food right now is very, very important.
Thank you so much, Farmer Dre. Thank you, family, for joining us. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for all the Cashapp gifts you sent to Farmer Dre. We appreciate you so much. The money that you invest in him, he'll be able to invest in the business and produce more to help us. So I think it's very important for those of us who believe in supporting people who give us valuable information to send donations and gifts. He doesn't get like he's not working a 9 to 5.
Right. Yes.
So there's no
out the mud.
Say it again.
I'm getting it out the mud.
He get it literally out the mud.
Come on. Getting it out the mud. Yes.
Set Apart Gardens, $SAP GARDEN1 or SAP Garden is how you will find him on Cashapp.
Yes. I see one more question that I want to answer.
Sure.
It says, do you offer some type of training on how to keep people in shape? Because when it's time to get moving, you have to be in some type of shape to be able to keep up. I hadn't thought of that, but that's a very important point. And I can do that to keep people in shape, because in the event of an emergency, you may have to walk long miles. You may have to, kind of get out of somewhere real quick. So it's important to be in shape too, for protection purposes, for evacuation purposes, and endurance. So yes, keeping in shape is very important. Callie, I'm glad you brought that up. And I can start talking about that and offering some sort of assistance with that.
Yeah,
because military exercises to do.
I was just about to say you had to go through boot camp, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Farmer Dre boot camp, Set Apart Garden.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I could definitely offer that. Yes, because that's been on my heart too. Like, all right, it's time to start getting into more shape, so that way you can be out longer, planting more food, and just in case you need to evacuate, you'll be able to do that as well.
If people don't have a Cash App, I see you have PayPal. Is that your PayPal still? This is still correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Dre at setapartgardens.com. Dre, DRE at setapartgardens with an S at the end.com for PayPal. So you can send them gifts through PayPal, through Cash App. You can go on his website to Set Apart Gardens. Is it Set Apart Gardens with an S.com? Yes. Join his join his private group. All of the links will be in the description section of this video.
Yes, and for my chat, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Dr. Kia Pruitt. She's always putting out great information. And I'm just honored to be, a part of the Soul Tribe and the farmer of the Soul Tribe, like you say. So thank you for having me on. I appreciate it for sure.
You're
so y'all
welcome.
Follow Dr. Kia.
Thank you so much. Now let me go to your YouTube channel, Set Apart Garden.
Yes.
This man is, y'all think I'm busy? He's way busier than I am. I get all these notifications throughout the day. Farmer Dre's going live. Farmer Dre's going live. I'm like, wow. And this is both in the public and his private group. The man is busy. He gets an idea. He has like coffee chats in the morning.
Yes,
I told him I like that because I can go get my tea, which I have right now, my chai latte, and I can be like working around the house. And I can see him sitting out on his rocking chair or in his chair with the beautiful greenery of the background. And it makes me feel calm, honestly.
I love it.
And at ease. Several times a day, he'll be going like, the man is way busier than I am. So family, this is his YouTube channel. Right here. Here he is right here. If you give them the power to feed you, you give them the power to starve you. Woo!
Absolutely.
This is his lovely wife. What made you do the what's that? The dove?
The dove, yeah, for Set Apart. Because that's in Scripture it tells us that the Holy Spirit descended on Yeshua like a dove, and so of course our whole thing is living set apart, being set apart, and so we just felt like the dove fit, because we're set apart as a family.
I love that. You have 43,000 subscribers. Family, please subscribe to his channel. He has over 1,000, over 1,200 videos. This is the public channel.
Yes, so we got so much good stuff on there. And can I share something real quick, Dr. Kia?
Yes, take your time. Ooh, avoid fake meat. That got 28,000 views. Ooh, we need to learn about that. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's good. I was gonna say, always bet on yourself and know your gift will make room for you. This time last year, when I walked away from my job, it was May of last year, I walked away. And believe it or not, we had only like 7,000 subscribers on YouTube. And we maybe were at 1,000 followers on Facebook. So in the past 12 months, we grew over 30 something thousand subscribers on YouTube and over like 40,000 followers on Facebook. Wow. Just from betting on ourselves and honing in on our gift and being obedient to our calling. So if you've been kind of teetering the line, like, man, I don't want to take the risk of, trying to go into my gift and my purpose, go ahead and do it. The Most High will make room for you. Your gift will make room for you. And
that is a scripture, right? Your gift will make room for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for that. And YouTube could be the way to go too for some people. If you lose your job or you want to walk away, you have a gift, share it.
Yes,
share it.
For sure. Absolutely. YouTube can be the way. It's a lot of, like, especially while we got these phones, like I know a lot of times we say this technology is going to be the downfall of us, but it's a lot of good you can do on the phone and technology as well. You can put out these videos like Dr. Kia does, where she's teaching people, and really helping people to navigate through, these perilous times. So you can actually do some good out here.
Yes, sir. Any more questions, family? God is Jehovah Jireh. He is our provider, and He is Jehovah Nissi, God, our banner, our victory. Come on through here and preach. Yet say, come on through with the word. I'm an ordained evangelist. A lot of people don't know that. So,
wow. I know you mentioned that before. Yeah.
Now that's why sometimes I have to calm down when I speak. When you're a teacher or a speaker, you were taught to project your voice.
You get passionate.
You really do. You do. And sometimes, like when I would preach at churches or outside services, you didn't have a mic.
Yeah.
Or the mic could go out. You still got to get the message across.
Absolutely.
You learn to speak from your belly, and that passion is like fire. Shut up in the bones. Come on now.
Absolutely. Amen. You're so right about that. I be having to contain myself too when I get on there and I get to preaching and giving a word. So I understand.
Yes. Thank you for igniting me with that. You mentioned that God is Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nissi, Jehovah Rapha, our healer.
Come on.
There's a whole bunch of Jehovahs.
Come on now, say it.
Yes. There's a lot of Jehovah, not Nissi. Come on, Gats, tell us some more Jehovah words that He is. All right, you activating me up in here. Any healing techniques you would recommend?
I would say start it. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, this is somebody asked that question in the chat.
Yeah, I would say start an apothecary, which is basically a collection of herbs, and because we collect a lot of herbs and stuff like that. So that's what we use for healing and more so preventative medicine. So we take different herbs. Oil of oregano is a great medicine because it's like a antibiotic, but it's natural. Oil of oregano, black seed oil. We take black seed oil on a day-to-day basis. Milk thistle, hibiscus. Like just start an apothecary with different herbs. And I would say more so think preventative, when you're talking about in terms of medication. Think preventative. So that's what, and also get out here, put your feet in some grass. People call it grounding. But I just say put your feet in some grass and it charges your body up, just getting back, to the earth, and so just walk around, put your feet in some grass, put your feet in some dirt, let the sun beam down on you, let the earth recharge you. So those are some healing things that I do as well.
I love that idea. That's they don't teach us to walk and do grounding or hug trees.
They don't.
Speaking of foraging, do you remember we used to have a lot of dandelions? I remember growing up.
I have a lot of dandelions growing on my property.
Wow.
A lot of them, especially in the springtime. Yeah, I harvested some this year.
My daughter, she was studying biochemistry. She had thought at some point she would go into medicine, and she learned that some people that have cancer symptoms or issues, they drink dandelion tea. I can't say, well, I can, but you can get flagged if you say it will cure certain things because the pharmaceutical industry really wanted people to pay money for them to feed us with a bunch of chemicals.
Exactly. You're so right. And I'm careful on what I say in terms of that because I had a video get flagged for that about 2 weeks ago where we were talking about herbs and stuff, and I posted it from the tribe on YouTube, and it got flagged, and I almost got a strike for it. So I'm careful with what I say about that. Yeah.
I saw Chief Mack in the group. He said he walked away from his job. He's doing better financially than he was on his job. That was 3 years ago.
That's amazing. Somebody just asked a question.
Okay. Jehovah Sitkanu, the Lord our righteousness. Jeremiah 23:6. Go ahead, Get say Ray. Yes.
Jehovah Sabaoth.
Ooh, what's that one? Jehovah Sabbath.
I forget. I have to look it up. But somebody
I
can
gotta
in the
look that
chat.
one
Somebody will know.
Oh, okay. Somebody put that in the chat.
Somebody said, I'm in Richmond right now. Why did you consider leaving Richmond? It had several farmers. Did the amount of land play a part in that? The reason why we left Richmond is because we wanted to be closer to home. I'm originally from Florida, and so we wanted to kind of be closer to family. So that's why we moved down here. But Richmond, there's, if you can find land up there, definitely go for it. But that's why we moved, is to be closer to Florida. We moved down here. And also, pricing. So land up there is a lot more pricier than down here in South Georgia.
You talked about being closer to family, Farmer Dre. At 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, I'm going to bring on a sister who her daughter is an adult. Her daughter just kind of went missing. She just, moved away, or just at one time she decided to leave. And then she couldn't find her daughter, Farmer Dre. Her daughter has 2 children. When she found her daughter, unfortunately, they found her daughter just kind of like, what some people say, out of it, where she was suffering from mental health issues. But the daughter did have the presence of mind to call and ask for help. But even though she was having these issues, for somebody to come, because her baby was despondent, they life flighted the baby to the hospital, and the baby passed away. Wow. So now you have a daughter who's mentally not well. The daughter passed away. She had another baby girl in the house with her, and the 2 children they determined were malnourished. So the news got a hold of the story, and it went viral, and they arrested the mom, the daughter, she's a new friend now. They arrested her daughter for malnourishing the children, and the news went viral all across America. Mothers arrested, unalived children, starves children out. But the heart of the issue, from where I see it as a minister, as an evangelist, as a prophetess of God, and as a Soul Tribe member and a mama, the heart of the issue was that she needed help.
Yes.
Support. How is locking her up helping her? We understand that there's some some ramifications.
Right.
But now we got to bury a baby. Yes. The woman who was telling me her story is 48. Right. The whole country is, that knows the story is like, you're a bad grandmother. Yeah. She was a bad mother. That's why she's locked up. It makes sense that now you got to bury your child. Who's going to raise the other child? And then she had 3 other older adults. Who's going to raise them? And how could you not know where she was? But the heart of the issue is that we're living in a world that's very hard.
Absolutely. Well, people need help instead of condemnation.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times.
Yes, sir. As a minister or a biblical teacher, can you provide us some type of comfort, reassuring? When I start telling this story, people tell me I'm depressed. They said I'm alone. I'm anxious. People have even told me I feel schizophrenic. I'm hearing voices. I'm bipolar. I'm walking alone. People in the chat last night, I went live, Chief Mac and I, at midnight. They were saying I'm suffering in silence. And they're being told, don't reach out to your family. This is a cancel culture. You're grown. Do it on your own. Even though the family is reaching out saying, come back home, baby. The world says you're grown. Thug it out, thug it out in the wrong way. Deal with it. You're a man. Pull yourself out by the bush. Men suffer. Don't cry. Don't ask for help. You should have been better. You're the patriarch. I hate this division. Wow. I hate it. You're the patriarch. Down with the patriarch. Rise of the matriarch. We're better than men. You're going to learn to bow to me. What in the world is going on?
Yeah.
As a man of God, because I know you are, I watch you.
Thank you.
Now, as God speaks to in your spirit right now, what can you offer us that are crying out and suffering in silence?
That's a great question. I would say, of course, cast your burdens on him, but also this is a time for us to band together as people. And in the word, and I'm loosely translating scripture, but basically it says, share each other's burdens. Confess your sins and your burdens to each other, and y'all help each other. Like where somebody is weak, be strong for them. Now is the time to band together. And here's the thing, like, I know a lot of times we live on social media and things, but we have to kind of censor what we're watching and put into our our ear gates and our eye gates on social media, and let's try to surround ourselves with people like the Soul Tribe or the Set Apart Tribe family where we can come together and we can talk positivity, we can talk solutions, we can build each other up. But let's be there for each other right now and share in each other's burdens and help each other. But it's not a time to condemn. Like you say with that young lady, and I'm sad to hear about her situation, but sometimes people need help. Like you said, she was out of it. So it's like, where are the people that's responsible for, the things that was happening as well? Because I'm sure she wasn't there alone. So where's the other accountability for people, who were around her? But a lot of times we point fingers when we need to help and hear somebody out, hear the whole of a matter before you make an assumption. Most people online, they'll hear a piece of something and they'll go judging in the comments and stuff. But even Solomon tells us, hear the whole of a matter before you come to a conclusion. Because if you don't hear you don't know everything that's going on. And you might be what's the word I'm looking for? Man, I can't think of the word I'm looking for.
But take your time.
You may be condemning somebody that doesn't need to be condemned because you don't know the whole of the matter. Basically, you're being unjust. You're bearing false witness. That's the word I'm looking for. Bearing false witness. Let's hear the whole of a matter, because you could be bearing false witness against somebody and not even know it. So let's take the time to try to understand each other as human beings. And as people in this country, because we're all going through something. Gas prices going up. Everybody's being affected by that. With people losing jobs and inflation going up, people are losing their homes and their all type of stuff. So it's like, let's be kind to one another. They want us to be divided, so we always fighting at odds. But it's a time to come together, and it's a time to separate sometime. But I feel like now's the time for us to come together.
How can the family how can you support like children that maybe move away, that you haven't, and you moved away, you don't have children that are that age, but is there a way we can, I don't know, I'm just trying to gather data.
I would say just try to keep in contact as much as possible, but train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they get older they won't depart from it. So at 18 years old, I moved across the country, in the military. I got stationed in Hawaii. That was my first duty station ever. So imagine going from Florida, Jacksonville, Florida to Hawaii. I'm far away from everybody. But my parents and my support system, my village, because I was raised by my grandparents, aunties, parents, all types of stuff. So they raised me up. Yeah, they raised me up in a way to where even when I left, they were still a part of me. So it's just about having those bonds and those relationships with your kids now. That way, when they get older, even though they might live far away, they still are a part of the family. They still checking in. You checking in on them. As older people, sometimes we feel like, oh, well, you should call me and check in on me. No, sometimes you may have to check in on the youth. The phone work both ways.
That's right.
I get a lot from older family members. They say, oh, well, I ain't heard from you. You ain't called me. Well, the phone work both ways. I go through stuff as well.
Come on. I grew up in church where, I was a leader, and people would say, you didn't call me, you didn't check on me. And I'm like, leaders sometimes are busy. And I went to my pastor and I was like, Pastor, I don't know what to do. I'm trying to reach everybody, because I was a director of outreach and an evangelist. So I would go to the hospitals, the prisons, the nursing homes, and there was a whole group of us. But there would be people that would be kind of on the outskirts, and we ain't seen them in 10, 20 years, saying, why haven't you come check on me? Well, when sometimes you would go and they wouldn't be available. Right. But that's when my pastor said, listen, Pia, evangelist, it works both ways. You can go and knock on somebody's door, but if they don't want to be found, they won't be. So we had to teach people in the congregation, put your pride aside and learn how to say, I need help.
That's good. Put your pride. Oh, you know what? You just gave us the key right there, Dr. Kia. Let's put our pride to the side now. If you need help, say that, vocalize that. To your support system, to your tribe, to your group of friends. Yeah. It's not enough like when people ask you, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. No, how are you really doing?
and that's something that people say a lot. Oh, I'm good.
Yeah. And I do it too.
Say it again.
I say I do it too.
You don't want to be vulnerable. Right. I think that's what it is. You tell me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's you don't want to be vulnerable. You feel like you don't want to be a burden to people. But it's like, you never know, because you sharing what you're going through might bless them and help them, and they're able to help you. Y'all can help each other. Y'all both might be going through the same thing, but y'all too prideful to say, hey, I'm going through this. Not realizing your breakthrough could be telling that person, and they could be like, man, I've been going through the same thing too. I feel like this, I feel like that. Now you got somebody that you can vocalize that to.
So, and let's bring this home to having land. You have, I think, more than an acre.
Yeah, we have just under 6 acres.
Under 6, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Can you talk to us how the land can enable you to have, what do they call it when you have multi-generational living?
Yes.
What does that mean?
You know, like it's just building basically a compound, a family compound. Like you say, like when we purchased this land, we had our children in mind already. So we like, when our children get grown, they can leave the nest, or they could just build a house on this land. We can, you know, build them a house or get them a trailer on this land. They don't even necessarily have to leave if they don't want to, but we started with them in mind because we wanted this to be something multi-generational. There's a family that I know who live in the same town as me. Their last name is Berry. So they have what you call Berry Farms. Go check them out on Instagram. Berry Farms. Okay. Yeah, and they're black farmers too. And so I got the chance to tour their property. They farm like, I want to say, a couple hundred acres. They do cattle. And their great-grandfather or great-great-grandfather bought, you know, all this land. I want to say like close to 1,000 acres and kept it all in the family. So you got first cousins, second cousins, and they rolled me. I did a video, as a matter of fact, on my channel. It's called "It's More Black Farmers Than You Think," and they rolled me around their whole property. Oh, that's my cousin's house. That's my second cousin's house.
Wow.
That's my sister's house. And I'm saying, like, they got streets. Like, this is like almost a little small town that they got that's within their family. And they all kept it in the family. So it's a beautiful thing to see. And I said, I want something similar like that for my children. So when they grow up, they can stay on the land, or we can buy more land in the area, and we'll all, you know, be in the same area. But it's important to have family in mind when you're saying you want to get back to the land, because family is going to help you work the land. They're going to keep the land in the family, and you will be able to provide, and everybody can pool their resources together. You could barter, you could trade with your family, and keep it all in the family. A lot of people do it.
There's an old saying that says, if you build, they will come. Can you add to that?
That's so true. When I first started building out my land and my homestead, I didn't have a lot of help. But as I started expanding more, I didn't have a lot of help from family. As I started expanding more and doing more things and kind of like just building, then I had people, you know, volunteering to help. And now my uncle, he plays a very important role. He comes up here and helps me out a lot. But I had to build it up initially. A lot of times we are looking for people to help us in the beginning stages, when that's where you're supposed to develop your character, and you're supposed to go ahead and put that work in. And once you get the foundation set and people see you serious, now they're more likely to come and say, okay, I'm gonna help you because I see you serious. Don't take it personal when people don't help you in the beginning in your business, on your land, whatever it is you're doing. Go ahead and show that you're serious first, get some progress done, and I guarantee you people will start coming.
That's huge. That's huge. Thank you for sharing that. Family, I don't know how you all feel. I feel full. I feel fed. I feel encouraged. I feel strengthened, enlightened, all because Farmer Dre, this man of God, who has a degree in theological studies, who served our country as a military veteran, who is raising food and cattle and taking care of 4 children and a wife, has shared all his wisdom with us. So what I'm going to ask you to do, family, is if you feel blessed by this man of God giving to us and pouring from his soul, please feel free to give a donation to him. Farmer Dre at $SAP Garden 1, and we would greatly appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. I feel full as well. I appreciate you, and I'm always, you know, glad to pour into people. That's what it's all about, and teach whatever knowledge I can. So thank you for having me. Thank y'all for being a great chat, you know, and those questions. Those are some good questions and topics y'all brought up.
Do you see any other questions you just wanted to answer?
Let me see.
What you said, time to get food. Yes, time to get land and grow our own food. Dig a well. That's right. Go solar. Get out of the beast system.
Absolutely. Let's get out this system. Little by little, though. Little by little. Just make little changes here and there. You know, use this conversation to charge you up to act. not just to say, oh man, that was a good broadcast. No, let it like really resonate on it. Think about it like, man, what would I do in a survival situation or an emergency situation? What skills do I have? Evaluate that and make small changes right now. But I don't see any questions though.
I don't see any questions. I'm going to ask you for final words in a minute. Family, at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to bring on Sister Drea. She's known in the YouTube community, on some YouTube channels and communities, because she would speak on the importance of pulling yourself and your energy away from the system. And she would speak on a lot of corruption that was going on, like in the entertainment industry and other things. So some people know about her. She is the woman, she's 48 years old, that got the call that said her daughter was arrested and for malnutrition. One of the children passed away. They're trying to bury the granddaughter now, and she's now, as a grandma, is going to raise the remaining grandchild. So she's got a daughter who's incarcerated that she's trying to get, to see. She's trying to get her some mental health care. But when you're in the prison system, they're not always concerned, especially not initially, about mental health. They're more concerned about bringing criminal charges. But she needs some help, mental health care for her daughter. And she just what she's coming on my show for at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She's coming on my show really to just talk to people about mental health and to talk to people about how that is a real serious issue. Mental health issues, depression, being psychotic, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, because a lot of times we focus on physical ailments, and people that are having a physical ailment will go to the doctor, and that's promoted, or they'll look for herbs to cure that, or they'll look for it. But what about mental health? There are billions of people worldwide that deal with depression and anxiety. We talked about that, Chief Mack and I, last night. So do we have anybody that offers herbs, minerals, foods to address mental health issues? What can we do as a community or family members to support our family members that are struggling? How do you identify a person that's going through depression? Sometimes you don't know what they're going through. You might think they're just lazy, and literally they're having a biochemistry crisis. So I study psychology as well as economics, political science, and some other things. You can have a traumatic experience that causes a chemical imbalance, or you can have a chemical imbalance that causes a psychotic episode. So this is a real biological issue as well as psychological issues, trauma, stress, all that can lead to mental health crises. So tonight at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sister Drea and I will come and to talk about her issue. And just so we can start the conversation of how we can help people that are suffering from mental health issues. Anything you want to say about mental health issues before we end?
Yeah. Somebody just said in my chat, which I agree with. It's they say, I dare say that mental health is worse than anything else because it's still stigmatized and unseen. And that's so true. It's still like unseen. Like you say, we can look at physical ailments all the time and we can see, hey, there's something wrong. But when we see somebody that we clearly see is disturbed mentally, we'll turn a blind eye to it a lot of times, because they be like, oh, they just throwed off, or man, they crazy. But it's like, no, it's something going on up there that needs to be addressed. And maybe they just need somebody to talk to, somebody that will listen to them. And sometimes they may need to get on medication, or they may need to look into herbs. I know a lot of times, people, if you heal your gut, if you deal with it mentally, that will help too. If you heal your gut, because they say your gut is your second brain. So it's like a lot of times people is dealing with mental issues because their gut is out of whack. The microbiome inside their gut. But other than that, it could be spiritual warfare as well. It could be spiritual attacks too. So we need to not turn a blind eye to it and just act like, they'll be all right. No, we gotta address these things. We gotta start back talking about therapy. I know that was a big thing too in the community where people was talking about like, get therapy. A lot of times people need to get therapy too. Yeah. And I shared my story last night about how I was, I had some issues as a child. Well, I went through, 1 in 4 women are abused, actually, 1 in 7 boys. But boys, most people don't talk about it because you're ashamed.
So here I was, and I had dealt with that issue. I told my mom, and she dealt with it the best way she could. I didn't tell her till I was 14, Farmer Dre. But I had to, now I got this thing where I got to prove myself. I'm making straight A's. I'm getting this degree, that degree, that degree. I'm in ministry. I'm laying hands on people. People getting delivered. They get the Holy Ghost. They're speaking in tongues. People literally getting healed because I have healing in my hands, as many of us do. Or I'm teaching about eating healthy, and I'm teaching about how to get counseling. I became a counselor. I'm doing all this work. And then when I went to stay with my brother, I was in a safe place. My brother was doing well, ex-military, served in the Navy, had a beautiful family. I love my brother, Tim Pruitt. He's amazing. But now I'm safe, right? And I'm taking a break from work and family. And when I went to stay with him, he woke me up after I had slept for 7 days straight. And he said, I got to get you some help, sis. And I was like, what are you talking about? He said, I would wake you up. We would tell you it's time to eat. You would just get up like just like kind of like walking in a zone to go to the bathroom, You would go right back to sleep 7 days straight.
Wow.
So I'm a proponent of getting counseling. I'm even a proponent if you can find the right doctor, the right, I don't know, shaman, medicine man, medicine woman, priest. I don't know. I'm a proponent for it. If there is a medicine that can fit with your biochemistry, and that's what they offer you, and it works for you, listen, I'm not the one that's going to judge you. Because people getting medicine for diabetes, they're getting medicine for cancer, they're getting medicine, but if you don't want to go that route, talk to somebody.
Yes, definitely talk to somebody.
Farmer Dre is talking about gut health. Learning what you need for gut health. Get rid of those parasites that's causing, certain issues. But for 7 days straight, you're talking about an ordained evangelist who was healing people, speaking internationally to tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of people, raising children, being a foster mom, making, you know what I'm saying, getting all these degrees, having ministries underneath me, who had issues that I never dealt with from as a child.
And they always come up when you least expect those issues. You try to bury them, but they never really leave you.
That's it. So what I learned, go ahead, speak.
No. I was just gonna say they never really leave you, and you only fooling yourself if you think, oh man, I ain't gonna talk about it. I'll be all right. No, it's gonna come up at some point in your life where you have to address it and bring it out. And even if it's just talking to somebody, talking to a counselor, or just letting somebody know, but don't ever think like things you go through, you could just stuff it. You could just bury it. It's always going to creep back up some way, somehow. Yeah. And what I learned so thankfully I went to a Christian counselor, and I don't go to church a lot now. Farmer Dre, to some self-disclosure for my own, I'm evolving spiritually, trying to, put things together for myself. But what I did have was a Christian, and I've been involved in church most of my life, but I had a Christian counselor who was a part of my team. And he said, just what you said, it always comes up. You can bury it, but your self-conscious mind is always dealing with the issue. Yes.
At the right time, your body will shut down, he said, and force you to take a break and deal with your issues.
Yes, that's so true. And the saying that we heard a lot growing up, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's the biggest lie we ever told ourselves. Because words hurt more than sticks and stones. I break my arm today, it can heal up. And next year, I ain't thinking about my broken arm that I broke last year. But if somebody says something, or I go through something that's traumatic, and somebody says something to me that sticks with me, that'll stick with me for a lifetime. Like you got people who are grown and they still are insecure because of something that somebody told them when they were a child.
That's true.
So our words are powerful. What we feed ourselves mentally, and what we feed ourselves, what we can hear, is very, very powerful. So be careful of the words you're speaking over yourself, but you're letting people speak over you. And like you say, address those things mentally. That you may have tried to bury traumatic things. Address those things. Bring it out to the light and deal with it.
Thank you, Farmer Dre. I would implore our family members to gift Farmer Dre with a donation. Send him a Cashapp to $SAP Garden 1. I led by example. I did send a gift. Family, if you are committed to blessing this man of God and his family with a donation, then please do so now. And you can even put in the chat, hey, Farmer Dre, check your Cash App. I sent you some, bro. I sent you some, homie. Let them know.
Oh, Deborah. Thank you, Deborah, for that. I ain't even checked it in a minute, but thank you, Deborah, for that gift, that Cash App.
Thank you, family. Thank you so much for your time, family. Farmer Dre appreciates you. I know.
Yes.
We encourage you to get a bug out bag. Go to setapartgardens.com and become a private member. All of this information is on that one website. Yes. Can you get everything from setapartgardens.com?
Yep, you could join the tribe through there. You can do the bug out bag, the ebook. Yes, you can.
Here's someone says, Farmer Dre, you are 31 and so mentally wealthy. I appreciate you.
Thank you for that. How you say it? Gina Lease? How do you pronounce that? Do you know how to pronounce that, Dr. Kia?
I don't. Gina Lease.
Yeah, Gina thank you so much for that.
Yes. Sister Janine, you're welcome. Sister Janine, our moderator, says, yes, stop being ashamed to ask for help. We are here for you, Soul Tribe.
Absolutely.
So any final words before we check out of here, Farmer Dre?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes. Go ahead. I'm gonna put up setapartgardens.com one more time. I'm gonna show it while you're speaking, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say this, because y'all know I like to always incorporate the Bible into what I'm teaching, but they mocked Noah when Noah was saying, hey, prepare, hey, repent. They mocked him, they laughed at him until the rain started coming down. You know, and then they was beating on the ark trying to get inside to safety. Go ahead and start building your ark right now. Even if people call you crazy, go ahead and start preparing right now. Go ahead and start growing food right now. And over the past year or two, I've been seeing more and more people starting gardens, starting their homesteading. So I'm glad to see that. Go ahead and start the garden today. Go ahead and purchase the seeds today. Go ahead and start buying the things for the bug out bag today and learning skills on the basic level. Buy books, buy physical books that you can refer to in the event where you don't have the internet. Stop depending on the internet so much for things. Get physical books. But proper preparation prevents poor performance. Go ahead and prepare now. Again, people might laugh at you. They laughed at Noah. But when the rain started coming down, they was trying to get in the ark. When things start hitting the fan, people gonna be trying to, oh man, I need to see about growing this or see about it's too late then. It's too late. Don't wait till it's too late to start building your safety right now. Don't wait till it's too late. Go ahead and start, even if it's at a small level, at least you got some sort of experience. Because I always say this, God can work with something. If you come to him with something, he can work with that. When Yeshua held up the fish and the loaves and he prayed and it multiplied and it fed all those thousands of people, it's the same way when you have a little bit of something, you got a little bit of skills, you got a little bit of ambition, you know, you got a little garden, God can increase it, he can enlarge it. So go ahead and start, but he can't work with nothing. If you don't got nothing, you can't get nothing from nothing. 0 times 0 is 0. So go ahead and start getting a little bit of something and meeting God halfway, meeting the Most High halfway, so that way he can bless you. But don't wait till it's too late. Don't think it can't happen to you, because it absolutely can.
Thank you so much for those words of wisdom, Farmer Dre. Chief Mac just sent something in the chat. He said, I sent you a donation. Thank you for all the information.
Oh, thank you, Chief Mac. I got it. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Beautiful Max Ministries. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say thank y'all. I really appreciate it. It means a lot.
This has been an amazing podcast. Shout out to your wife for being by your side and supporting this ministry and working, effortlessly, tirelessly to support this vision that you all have. It's a beautiful vision. Thank you. I'll call her Mrs. Farmer Dre. yeah,
my wife. Yeah, she a lot of the stuff that's behind the scenes that y'all don't see, she's behind a lot of that. I'm just the voice. I'm just the spokesperson that I get on here and speak because I can run my mouth quite a bit. But she's responsible for a lot of things behind the scenes, so I definitely appreciate her. Without her, it wouldn't be possible. It's two of us together that make this whole thing work.
Two is better than one. That's what the word of God says.
Yes, absolutely.
It's just easy when you build together. And I love what you are presenting to the Soul Tribe, working in unity and harmony. That's one of the universal principles, the law of oneness, that we're all one. And another one is that that you have two energies, the divine masculine and the divine feminine must work synergistically and in harmony together to have balance. So thank you for being that example before us. So that's about it. That's it for me, Farmer Dre. Are you coming on anytime soon, live?
Yeah, so I'll probably go live this evening, but if not, I'll be live tomorrow morning for the coffee chat. Every weekday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do a coffee chat. I'm sitting right here on the porch where we do it at, and we have coffee. We talk about life. I give you a good word of encouragement, wisdom, whatever it is.
I love that. Our chat moderator says, Soul Tribe family, thank you for supporting our beautiful doctor. Thank you, sister. And our wonderful guest, Farmer Dre. You guys are so appreciated. That is amazing. Remember to join me 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight to talk to you all with our grandmother. She's a beautiful grandmother. She's 48. Who needs, to get this information about the importance of mental health. Her family's in crisis right now. For her to step away from her daughter who's been incarcerated, her granddaughter she has to bury, now she has to become a mother again and mother one of her grandchildren and say, look, we got to get this message out that people are suffering in silence. That's amazing. I commend her for that. So tonight at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to talk about mental health and how our family members are suffering in silence. No matter what ethnicity you are, what nationality, what skin complexion, what kind of religious affiliation, all that, we need to put all that aside and get healed.
Yes, for sure.
So, thank you, Farmer Dre. We'll support you as much as we can. We love you. We appreciate you, your wife, and your beautiful children.
Thank you. Love you all too. Thank you so much, Dr. Kia.
You're welcome. We'll talk soon, Farmer Dre.
All righty. Y'all have a blessed one.
And get that bug out bag from setapartgardens.com. Go to that website, family, and you get all the information you need. Put in even if you're not sure if you want a bug out bag, but you're thinking about it, please put the information there so that you can get updates.
Yes.
So, and that's about it. So we thank you, family, and we'll see you soon.
I love you. Talk later.
Talk later. Peace, family. Thank you, family. I love you. Remember to send a donation to SAP Garden 1, $SAPGARDEN1. We thank you so much, family. You are awesome. You guys are amazing. Did you all appreciate that podcast with Farmer Dre? He is former military. He's not just a random farmer. He's a military 31-year-old man, 31-year young man with a wife and 4 children, living off the grid, living off the land. He worked for the government. He served our great nation. And now he's serving the whole globe as the Soul Tribe farmer to teach us how to be self-sufficient. So please feel free to go to his website, setapartgardens.com, and send them your information or put it in the chat. On this sheet. Let them know if you are interested in the survivor bags that are coming soon. So sign up here if you want to be notified when the pre-orders are open, how much the bags cost, what will be included in the survival bags, and how you can reserve one for your household. These bags are being prepared by Mr. Wilson, Farmer Dre, from Set Apart Gardens to help families take a practical first step towards emergency readiness. In case you're not sure if we're going to have an emergency broadcast system announcement, family, I shared with you something that I got. It was a text that said that the Save America Act was an important act that said that, they're mandating everyone has ID before they vote, right? Well, it passed in the House, but the Senate is holding it up. But I'm hearing that behind the scenes, it may have really just completely passed even with the Senate. But what happened is that upset the deep state operatives, the few that are still remaining, and they may give some pushback and try to have protests against President Donald Trump for forcing everyone to have ID, mainly, foreign nationals that are on our land that they call resident aliens, immigrants, illegal or illegal. You have to present an ID. The Save America Act protects America because now you don't have people who don't have the best interests of Americans at heart. They might be on our lands as human traffickers or just be here just availing themselves of opportunities, but not caring about us. And now they have to pay a debt to the deep state that brought them here and flew them over here and gave them benefits. So if they have to pay a debt to them, if they get the call that you have to march on the streets and protest against the Save America Act, they may feel compelled to do that. But some of them might just they might want to do a peaceful protest, which they can do. But what happens is when people do peaceful protests against, government action or against the president, they're infiltrated often by deep state operatives that are funded by billionaires. Well, the Save America Act, if it did pass behind the scenes or is slated to pass because it passed through the House, that can cause some people to get angry. So keep your emotions in check and stay grounded. Because if people start protesting and they get out of control, Farmer Dre told us as former military, the government, might shut down completely and the military will take control. When you read and study military law, we are really under military martial law right now. The National Guard has been on the ground since 2020. But in case you didn't know it, in 2025, President Trump, before he shut down the government, he met with the military. Look it up, man. You remember I reported on that. He met with military generals worldwide before he shut down the government, September 2025. Then the government was shut down at midnight, September 30th, leading into October 1st. My birthday is how I remember it. Leading into the new fiscal year, he shut down the whole government. And some people, including Farmer Dre, were asked to take early retirement because he worked for the government. Some people spent the money. Some people paid bills. Farmer Dre invested in land. And now teaching people how to live off the land. Shout out to Farmer Dre. Send him a Cashapp, please. $ SAP Garden 1, or go to his website, setapartgardens.com, gardens with an S. But I got an email regarding the Save America Act. Let me read it to you. Trump just locked down America permanently, allegedly behind the scenes. And I will say if he didn't, he could do it. June 28, 2026, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time yesterday, the Save America Act allegedly just passed Congress. The mainstream media is ignoring this. Just like the mainstream media ignored that the United States Treasury Department issued out a report saying that the United States government was insolvent. This is my commentary, Dr. Q Pruitt's commentary. That happened. That report came out September 2025. The media ignored that too. And I didn't even know about it till the beginning of this year. And I reported on it when I learned about this from a military retired Marine. I reported on it. So they don't tell you everything that's happening, but this is not just another bill, the Save America Act. This is a political earthquake. What just happened allegedly? The Save America Act, if in fact was passed or will pass, gives President Donald Trump unprecedented power to purge federal government of deep state operatives, because there were people that allowed people to fly here into our country to get government benefits, welfare, food stamps, to have their anchor babies on the land so the child can get a passport and become a United States citizen, but then the parents would get benefits. Deep state operatives allowed that to happen. They allow our whole airspace, water ports, land ports, everybody could come through our country. We have millions and millions of people that are foreign nationals here, some legal, some illegal. So now that, remember, Biden under his administration admitted to flying over 350,000 illegal immigrants. He admitted to bringing them here. His administration did. That was in 2023? Imagine all the people before that came over here. Imagine all the people here that are on H-1B visas that are here, working visas. Many of whom are, from the continent of Asia. They're from India or China. We did reports on that. H-1B visas have to come to a halt, and they will as of 2027, because a lot of people came here and took jobs. If you don't know what jobs they took, professional jobs they took, think of FEMA, finance, engineering, medicine, and architecture. People on H-1B visas, most of them from China, India. and some from China. We don't even know the numbers of the others, but those are just the professional degrees. What about now? They have an influx of immigrants coming in on H-1B visas that are taking the construction jobs, the service industry jobs, the factory jobs, the childcare jobs, the teacher job. Do some research and figure out how many foreign nationals are in this discipline. Go medicine, science, engineering, technology, math, education, higher education, research. They'll tell you. So you have an influx of people on H-1B work visas. You have a bunch of people here on F-1 visas. Those are international students coming to study here. What they'll do is they'll come to study maybe English. Then you leave that program. Then you get an associate's degree, a 2 years degree. Then you get a bachelor's degree, a 4-year degree. Then you get a master's degree. And as long as you fill out that I-20 document, and you're on an F1 status, you can stay here almost forever, permanently. So you get, you say, I'm studying English, you get an associate's degree, the 2 years degree, the 4-year degree, then you go and get a master's degree. And you say, oh, that's not enough. I'm going to get a PhD. Then you do a postdoctoral degree, postdoctoral studies. Then you say, no, I want to go into law or medicine. Then you go and you apply for that program. Then you say, now I want a second bachelor's, a second master's, a third master's. And as long as you fill out that I-20 form, you can remain here on an F1 visa forever. That's being done away with, because all of these people, while they were going to school, somebody's always willing to take your money or the government's money that's going to fund you to be here to pay your tuition so you can stay here forever and have a baby and tether yourself to the land. Because your child is an anchor baby, now they automatically are granted United States citizenship. That happens nowhere else in the world, where you can have a baby on somebody else's land and they automatically become a citizen. Okay, so these F-1B visas where international students will come here and study, they are coming to a halt. And the anchor baby thing, birthright citizenship, pregnancy tourism, where people would just come and visit our country and deliver their babies, and men that believe in multiple wives, polygyny, would bring all these women that they allege were their wives, and all the 2,000, it don't matter how many women they brought. They come in their second or third trimester, deliver a baby. Who's going to pay for that debt? It costs at least $10,000, the hospital bill. We're not even talking about the doctor bill, the anesthesiologist, the supplies. Who's going to pay all that debt but the American taxpayers and United States citizens? Or the government will absorb the debt, and then they're going to tax you to make sure you pay off the debt. How do you know that? Prove it. Because under motu proprio, Pope Francis admitted in his letter to President Obama, it has been our policy to enslave African Americans after the Civil War and treat them as chattel property to pay off our debts. Then it's been our policy to enslave everybody, and then we call them citizens, as chattel property to pay off our debt. That's why we're paying taxes. While people come here, deliver their children, and accumulate debt, get mortgages, get loans for their businesses, low interest bearing loans or no interest bearing loans. And they leave the debt and go back to their home country after they fed themselves off the fat of the land, off of accessing your trust. They get fake Social Security numbers. They're not fake. They're not dummy Social Security numbers. Those Social Security numbers are often your Social Security numbers that's granting foreign nationals access to your trust or access to your birth certificate bond. Chief Mack came and told us about how when he looked and he got control of his birth certificate and authenticated it and went through a process, he looked at the number that they sent him that was attached to his birth certificate bond. Because after we're all born, we get a birth certificate. If you're born in a hospital, they securitize it. Exchange it through the New York Stock Exchange. It's accruing interest, put it in a trust. That was supposed to offset our debt. He got his number as attached to his birth certificate bond, looked it up, and there were thousands of foreign nationals using his birth certificate bond number. This is real. That's why we have to save America. Trump isn't racist. He's not xenophobic. That's what the deep state will tell you. That's what the liberals will tell you, so they can get the black vote and the rural white community and all the people that want to forge allegiance with the so-called black Americans. But black Americans are waking up and saying, I'm not going to allow you to use my skin against me, my skin complexion, and say, I need you to protect me. We need folks to help minority. First of all, I'm not a minority. I'm indigenous to the land. We're indigenous. The 1828 Webster's definition of American is the copper-colored races discovered by Europeans, but now applied to Europeans. Just because something applied to a person or a group or a population doesn't make them American. You got to have blood right ties to the land. but people can be United States citizens. So people think just because I'm a United States citizen and I pay my taxes, I have a right to remain in America. No, you have a privilege that was granted to you by the United States Incorporated, the fake faux government that's now being dismantled, that's insolvent, and their Federal Reserve central banking system is insolvent, which is why the Supreme Court ruled to not only overturn the Chevron doctrine that had given the government unlimited powers in June of 2024, but in July of 2024, they ruled that state-sponsored banks that are not part of the Federal Reserve can operate independently from the Federal Reserve central banking system and issue out their own gold-backed currencies. That's why you're hearing about silver and gold now. That's why you're hearing about gold backs. That's why I talk about in my private group how you can barter with gold and silver right now and pay off your debt like taxes. Although our governor is actually doing away with property tax here in the state of Florida. So the deep state, the government, no longer exists. Is being dismantled. Our republic will be restored, but foreign nationals were allowed to come here, get welfare, food stamps, low interest bearing loans, no interest bearing loans, gain access to your trust. You used to be able to go to gmeiutility.org and put in your social security number and see the tens of thousands of people that were trading with your social security number. I had hundreds of thousands. Okay, so a lot of people came here and got all this access, and they were called citizens. But citizenship status means you're chattel property of the United States government, and the Supreme Court already overturned their power and said they were unlawful and treasonous. And every judge that went along with them, you know why they're attacking the judges and the attorneys? Because the foreign nationals who are from different countries, different lands that came on our lands would hire immigrant attorneys to fight for them to stay on our lands, even when their visas had run out. And many of them used the 14th Amendment to give them access to birthright citizenship clauses and statuses. But the 14th Amendment was actually for the children of African American slaves. That 14th Amendment was what was added to the Constitution, according to the research, after the Civil War for the children of African American slaves. Make that make sense how that's applying to immigrants and foreign nationals. They misinterpreted the 14th Amendment. And many of them say that 14th Amendment is unconstitutional anyway, but it wasn't for immigrants. But they hired attorneys to say, we're going to apply the 14th Amendment to foreign nationals. That's why they group all these foreign nationals, no matter what they look like, what their skin complexion is, they group them all with African Americans, Black folk, Negroes, who are the true indigenous people of the lands. And they have us calling ourselves African American because that is a classification and categorization of produce and meats. And they hired their agent to come up with that terminology. You know, the one who died around Black History Month, Jesse Jackson. Some people say he owns the rights to that title, African American. And now what they're doing is they're paying their hire agents, their Freemasons that look brown, look Black like brown, classify as Black like you and me, who aren't even, they're not indigenous to these lands. A lot of these people they put in front of you are not from America. They look brown, and so they got everybody saying, oh, they're Black. No, they're not indigenous Americans. And even if they are, and they're telling you to call yourself Black, you need to look and see if they're a paid agent. If they're telling you don't claim rights to the land, don't claim blood rights, don't go and try to trace your lineage. If anybody telling you that is suspect. Don't just listen to everybody. Don't even just listen to me. Vet us out. So when people say, what kind of doctorate degree do you have? I say it's a PhD, college student personnel, higher education administration. Look it up. Dr. Kia Pruitt, University of Louisville. Look up Dr. Kia Pruitt thesis. Go to Marshall University, master's degree in counseling, leadership studies degree, second master's in counseling. Look at Shawnee State University, social science degree, where I studied psychology, sociology, economics, and political science. Look up my book, Become the person you wish to attract. I'm a published art author. I'm writing a book right now. I might get I probably did get a call while I was talking from a publisher that teaches you how to conduct family governance meetings, accumulate wealth, protect wealth, asset protection. Google, who is Dr. Kia Pruitt? AI knows me. People know me. It comes up. You're not going to hear about me being embedded in any scandal. I've never slept with somebody else's husband. You're not going to hear about Dr. Kia Pruitt stole somebody's man. You're not going to hear that I had children out of wedlock. None of that. All my children are by my husband who passed away 4 years ago, Douglas Edward Lattimore Sr. That was important to me. Ordained evangelist, preacher, teacher, doctor, leader. I'm authentic. I give my real name, Kia Pruitt, Kia Marie Pruitt to be exact. I ain't hiding under no cover. But you'll have people that the deep state sends in front of you that look because they're brown and will say, hey, I'm the new leader. You better bow down to me. You better come to my podcast. You better bring me on your show. You better look at those people closely. Because just because they got brown skin doesn't mean they have your best interest at heart. Neither does it mean they're American. Yes, I'm passionate about this because they're trying to lead us astray. They don't want you, the government, the deep state, to lay claim, birthright claims to your land. They don't want you to gain access to your sovereign wealth fund, foreign nationals that are here in America. They want you to stay here in America because you know what? You have a sovereign wealth fund in your countries based on the resources that you have there, the gold, the silver, the precious metals, all of that. The land, that's wealth. You can even use people. Why do you think they call it human resources? To back the resources, to back whatever currency you use. Land, water, minerals, precious metals, precious stones. That's in every place of the planet will back your sovereign wealth fund. A sovereign wealth fund is a trust comprised of land, real estate, precious metals, rare earth minerals, trade deal agreements. Every nation has it. Nations have been having this for a long time. America didn't have one. I'm telling you, if you're a foreign national here and you're upset by this push towards, deportation, I want you to try to have some, be emotionally grounded and look at how you can go back home and you can rebuild your country. You can clean the water. You can use all the skills, the gifts, the education, the information, the swag you got from the Black community, the swag you got from the indigenous people, the swag you got from being in America. You can use all that to make your land great. And you will have access to your sovereign wealth fund, but they want to trap you here so that you won't get it. Because in order to get the money from your sovereign wealth fund, you have to be a national of that country. And you have to be located in that country. This is bigger than Nasara. Every land has a national wealth fund, a sovereign wealth fund. Look at oil-rich nations. They've been giving their people free health care and tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars per month because they're oil-rich and that money trickles down. They're so wealthy. And then they would let people come from Africa and other places to serve them and work in the service industry. Why do you think they attacked Kuwait? Why do you think the United States Incorporated, the deep state, sent, unfortunately, our unsuspecting military out to different places? They wanted to take that wealth, not America, the United States Incorporated, the bloodline families that took control of our republic. But everybody goes back home so that you can access your wealth, family. So President Trump, let's say he did win the Save America Act, and we know he won the higher courts deporting even Haitians, the 350,000 Haitians that were here as of 2010, the 6,100 Syrians that came here because they had civil war. The Haitians had a natural disaster, so they were allowed to come here. But it was temporary protective status. TPS, temporary means temporary. It's not permanent, it's not forever. That people that came here to seek refuge, you had DACA, deferred action for childhood arrivals, people that sent their children over here, they were supposed to have deferred action against deportation. That is not a legal pathway to permanent residency. It's in the literal document that they sign. It's not a legal pathway to permanent residency. DACA is deferred action, means we put off deporting you, but they allow people to send their children here. But see, they knew the loopholes. I can just seek asylum, or I can change of status and wait in America forever until that green card arrives. That's why President Donald Trump said, no, you want to change your status. I don't care what status you came in. Your visa might have expired, your work visa, your tourism visa, all those things may have expired. You apply for asylum or for a green card or for residency, and you can wait in America and get a work permit and get welfare benefits, food stamps, government aid, Section 8, and get student loans, or you can get a law degree as an undocumented student in America. You can just go to Stanford University, go any university in California. I know what I'm talking about. I work in higher education. And you can get mortgage loans. All you have to do is provide a transcript to these mortgage loan officers. You don't even have to have a social security number. President Trump said, we're putting a halt to all of that. Birthright citizenship status, all of that. Because we got to save America and protect America. America's for Americans. The American benefits that they wanted is for Americans. So President Trump won because they would keep taking them to court, taking the administration to court. Y'all, why people want to talk about President Trump? President Obama deported way more people than President Trump. And he is a Democrat. So it's not even about sides at this point. It's about protecting America for Americans, just like other nations. Be in somebody else's country and let your visa run out. See what happens. They will hunt you down, arrest you, and detain you until they get ready to release you. And you know what else happens? Try to overstay your visa in Ghana and some of these other countries. You know what happens? Sometimes the police will call your family members in some of these countries. And they will say, look, we got your son and daughter because they overstayed their visa. I know what I'm talking about. I've traveled to these countries, many countries. How much you gonna pay me? And you're like, is this the government? No, I'm police so-and-so. I'm the one that made the arrest. But who you gonna care? Who gonna check me, boo? That's their mind, because they've got to eat too. I'm gonna send this wired information to you. You can wire me some USD. It don't even have to be a lot. It can be small. Because when it converts to their currency, it's a lot. You send me $100. That's a lot. That's $500, $600 in some countries. It might be $1,000. Whatever you got. And then they might let them go, or then they might let them have to go be processed, but that they eat too. Try to play these games in somebody else's country, stay over and see what happens to you. Try to deliver a baby in somebody else's country and see if that baby gets a birthright citizenship status. They don't, I'll answer it for you. And they don't get a passport either. But in America, they've been able to run roughshod, get all these benefits, tether themselves to the land, tether themselves to Black Americans, saying we're all brown, while they talk about us and say, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Black folks are lazy. American people are lazy. We take the jobs none of y'all will take. Oh, they'll say it with their mouths arrogantly and with their whole chest, wave their flags, and then go to your organizations that's supposed to be helping you, like the NAACP, and say, protect us. We're immigrants. We're Black. Even though they just got finished cussing out Black folk. Cussing out the president, marching on our lands with their flag, burning, some of them burning American flags. Go to somebody else's country and wave your American flag fragrantly. Go to somebody else's country and wave it nicely and peacefully. See what happened. Talk about somebody else's. Go visit Russia and talk about Vladimir Putin out loud. Go to China and talk against Xi Jinping. I don't know if he's still in power. See what happens to your tail. Go on. You can't even get access to some certain media in Asia. But try to circumvent their rules. Go on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and talk against these world leaders, whether they like them or not. See what happens to your behind. Burn their flag. They will even tell you that their leaders are corrupt, but they won't say it out loud. They won't take to the streets and protest. See, people have come here to these great lands where our ancestors built this place with their blood, sweat, and tears. And they will absorb all the benefits as much as they can. Send money sometimes to their country. to build up some homes in case they retire, leave the debt here, maybe go there. And I ain't mad at them for taking care of their family abroad. The first law of nature is self-preservation. And they will use the money to pay off the cartel. Don't play with me. You can look it up. Why they're saying black folks are lazy. And they will tell you they were actually briefed to not go around the black community, but they'll set up their businesses in the black community, get your black dollars and your so-called black energy. We're going to stop using the word black, your indigenous energy. 80% of the motels, it depends on what you read, the stat, 60 to 80% of the motels are owned by East Indians and one particular family, the Patel family. Then they come here, tether themselves to the land. They get access to your bonds. They get the H-1B visas. They own the motels. 50% of the convenience stores, 50% of the gas stations are owned by East Indians. Why do they call themselves Indians? Are they trying to replace us, destiny swap us with us? That's why they don't want to end the H-1B visas. Don't play with us. And they live in their gated communities, privately protected. And they have a whole saying called Ferrari and food stamps because a lot of them get an EBT card. Why do they think they changed it from the food stamp where you had colored paper you can rip out to a card that looks like a debit card? So all the foreign nationals that they give these food stamp benefits to, now you might have got a couple $100, a dollar, a couple dollars. They give them hundreds of dollars, sometimes thousands of dollars per person while they run their benefits in your land. The hair industry absorbed by Asians, East Indians, and people that they call Arabs, which some people call them Asians as well. Why? They were selling fake medical degrees from India to the Indians and Chinese that were over here. That's why we have so many misdiagnoses. Look it up. I'm not making this stuff up. Ain't nobody being racist, xenophobic. Who is afraid of an East Indian, a Mexican, a Puerto Rican, which they're not really immigrants, they're migrants. Who's afraid of our Cuban brothers and sisters? Who's afraid of anybody from the continent of Africa? We love them. We've stood with them. We've marched with them. Even though they said you ain't us. Who's afraid? Phobic, fear of people from other lands? Get out of here. We are the indigenous people. We are America's a proud country. We love our land. We love our country. We love what our ancestors built here. We ain't afraid of nobody. Everybody's trying to swagger jack Black Americans, African Americans, the indigenous people. Get out of here. Scared? We have the dominant genetics. We are the first beings on this planet. Everything started in America. Look at your ancient biblical maps and your ancient maps. Jerusalem, Israel, Morocco, Rome, Greece, all of that started right here in America. America is the Pangea that you learned about in school that split apart during the Great Earthquake. So the dominant people that were seeded here, that went all across the lands, all the indigenous people from even the Europeans, the indigenous ones, are brown. We are the first. We went everywhere. Scared? Miss us? Xenophobic? We laugh at that. But see, what happened is they lied to everybody, said we were Negroes, colored, African Americans. Some of them called us the N-word. Slaves that came from Africa. But when we woke up and started listening to our elders who said, you ain't never came from Africa, you are part of the Washita tribe, you're part of the Cherokee tribe, you're part of the Blackfoot tribe. And even some people that present as Caucasian, they might look white or have the status of white. Some of them even know what tribe their people come from. Don't play with us. Americans are xenophobic. No, we ain't scared of nobody. You're on our land. Watch your mouth. And all these so-called Black agents that's saying, don't research, don't try to figure out where your land is, don't figure out where your blood ties are. They're agents. Listen to their rhetoric. And they have to tap on people, and they try to get me and other podcasts and other people to align with them so they can trick you from trying to trace your roots. Don't play with me. And then you have some people that they can bring under them because this secret society, if you are a Mason, if you are part of secret society groups and you are told to fall in line, you are forced to do it even if you don't want to. This is real. And if you don't, they will unalive their family members because they pledged. And some of these people did it under duress. Yes, I will take a plea. Give me an early release. All right, join my secret society. Okay. And they have good intentions, but if their master, somebody that's above them in ranking, say, you better fall under me, they're going to fall under them. And they don't even want to. You can see it in their eyes. And they'll call out Dr. Kia Pruitt's name. They'll call out your name. They'll call out Chief Mac. They'll call out somebody else's name and say, come under me. But I ain't tied to you. I ain't pledged no secret society. I'm on my own. I have the protection of God, the Most High, and my ancestors. And I'm like Viktor Frankl, even if they take my life, you can't take away my soul. I will come back. Why do you think I look like an empress? Why do you think I wear silver and gold and jewels and precious stones that Orisha Stone designed specifically for Dr. Kia Pruitt? Follow Orisha, Orisha Stone on YouTube and ask him to design jewelry that aligns with your bloodline, your zodiac sign, your mission, your purpose. His whole thing is wear your intentions. He is the one who called me the wealth ambassador of the world, the ministry of wealth. I never pledged in college, no Black Greek sorority, but with these foreign nationals would say, I pledged AKA like Kamala Harris did. I'm Black, support me, march with me, make me a vice president and your president. But before she was saying, I'm the first Asian to serve in Congress. Which is it? Are you Asian or are you Black? And then her father, who allegedly is a Jamaican, looks East Indian to me. You got to be careful. Some people will say, I'm Asian or I'm Jamaican. I'm Jamaican. Okay, are you Jamaican by blood? Or did you pledge and became a citizen of Jamaica and therefore you're calling yourself a Jamaican father? And I don't care if you're Kamala Harris' father Jamaican, not you ain't American, not North American. Be careful of these leaders that they're putting in front of us. Thank you for the Cashapp gift. Wake up, research for yourself, family member. Yes, I'm very passionate about this. Don't even just follow Dr. Pruitt. Research what I say. Why do you think I bring up websites when I speak? Orisha Stone, that's his Cashapp. Mansa Musa Stone that just came up, and God must want me to show that ancestors. Why do you think I'm so passionate? I know who I am. My purpose means king. My purpose means royalty. My life path number is 8. That means I'm supposed to teach you about wealth. But don't just take what I say. Research it. Look up the articles. Find out who I am. You ain't got to. People keep. Are you a real doctor? Stop being lazy and thinking somebody's supposed to handhold you all the time. I'm not trying to yell at you, but I'm just saying generally speaking. So June 28, 2026 at 9:38 a.m., allegedly the Save America Act just passed Congress. The mainstream media is ignoring it. This isn't just another bill. This is a political earthquake. What just happened? The Save America Act gives President Donald Trump precedent's power to purge the federal government of deep state operatives. 12,000 plus positions. It gives him the power to declassify 847,000 classified documents, all of them. It gives him the power to prosecute political enemies without statute of limitations. It gives him the power to restructure the entire intelligence apparatus like the FBI, the CIA, the NSA. It gives him control of all federal spending, $8.2 trillion. Why do you think that we're under partial government shutdown right now? It gives him a power to fire any federal employees without cause. It gives him the power to seize assets from corrupt individuals. He just said the other day, if you seek to harm or cheat Americans, we will find you, hunt you down, freeze your assets, and prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. I did a video on that just a couple of days ago. Look it up. This is total government control. Not total government control. It's really total military control. We're already under martial law, unbeknownst to most people. Unprecedented power. Now, the deep state, they say the Democrats are in power. It's really the deep state that work on both sides. They're in panic, not in power. They're in complete panic, and they tried to block the Save America Act. But they got something planned that when President Trump said, I'm secure in America, you have to show your ID, proof that you're a national and or a United States citizen in order to vote. That's going to cause these state operatives to get mad, maybe stage a Black Swan event, maybe do some kind of false flag event. That don't mean it's not real when they do that, like some, unaliving shootings, the stuff they do, the protests, that may start off peaceful, that will be infiltrated. They might try to fight back. The vote allegedly was 247 Republicans plus 18 Democrats, which is veto-proof majority. Even some of the Democrats, or I would say deep state operatives, know that their time is up. It's over. America will be restored. Our republic will be restored. Your sovereignty is and has been restored. That's why state-sponsored banks can now operate independently from the Federal Reserve banking system and issue out their own gold-backed currency. That's why the United States Treasury Department agreed with Trump to phase out all paper currency. All money or currency that was printed by the Federal Reserve central banking system will phase out completely. And we are going to the gold standard, which is why, look it up, 45 states as of today have repealed or removed the state sales taxes from precious metals. That means precious metals are acknowledged as legal tender, which means you can use it to buy local goods and services right now. Only 5 more states left that we know of. We're moving towards the gold standard. Look up King's World article that says the whole world is hurtling towards gold as money. Why? Because Article 1, Section 10 of our Constitution for the Republic says the only thing that you can use to pay off debt is silver and gold. It defines the dollar as a fixed weight in silver and a fixed weight in gold. Absolutely, we were treated like crap while everybody else came on our land, accessed our trust, got government benefits, got jobs. This is broken up many families. This is one of the reasons people are so depressed they can't find work. And if you're in a relationship you can't provide for each other or for the children, you're going to have problems. Most of the divorces, marriages end in divorce because of conflict over money. So all these people got jobs that were here while we were struggling. That time is up. And the deep state that allowed them to come over, they're going to fight back. Thank you so much for this gift. In a Rupert, you said Rupert GB. In GB, Rupert Lowe looks like our version of President Trump. Where's GB? Somebody tell me what. Great Britain? Elon even tweets his posts. Policies look like many of Trump's here in your country. Silverbacks, even metals are cheap now. Absolutely. So if you're interested in getting silver or gold and you want to contact my affiliate, Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Never had a customer complaint. Been in business for 4 decades. Then call them at 952-929-7006 or send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. And, tell them how much you want to spend or what you would like. Or they can send you a list of their inventory and say, hey, I heard about you from the Dr. Kia Pruitt show. Mention Dr. Kia Pruitt show so that you can get the best prices in the industry. So the email and text that I got says the deep state just lost. They can't stop the Trump administration or the military. They can't block any more agendas to liberate humanity or to save America. They know their time is over. Thank you so much for the Cashapp gift. Every corrupt official in Washington just got a death sentence. This act weaponizes the military and the administration against the deep state. 847,000 classified documents will be released. Every crime, every cover-up, every conspiracy will be released. That's why we could have an emergency broadcast system announcement. The FBI agents who spied on Trump, now I wouldn't just say spied on Trump, spied on Americans, exposed. The CIA officials and bloodline families that overtook or usurped authority from our lawful republic, exposed. The judges who blocked policies or laws that said that that were protecting Americans, they've been exposed. Politicians that took bribes, they've been exposed or will be. Within 30 days, allegedly, will have declassification. They will begin. Within 60 days, prosecutions will be announced, allegedly. Within 90 days, arrests will occur. Within 180 days, convictions. The domino effect has begun. This act triggers cascading collapses, according to the information I got. But use your own discernment. The Save America Act is very important, which is why President Donald Trump, he was supposed to have some type of signing and do some type of press release like 3 or 4 days ago. He said, I'm not doing anything until we pass the Save America Act. I'll shut everything down. We got to protect the American dream is for Americans. And people that say, I'm a citizen, don't understand that a citizen and a national are two different things. A citizenship status is chattel property status that was given to you by the United States Incorporated, or given to us, whoever agreed to that, by the United States government. The United States government is a group of bloodline families that usurped authority from our lawful republic. Well, they incorporated themselves in 1871 as a religious nonprofit organization. And they have their own constitution called the Constitution of the United States Incorporated. They operate under admiralty law, the law of the water, right? Maritime law, the law of the water. They consider us all dead and lost at sea. That's why when you get a birth certificate, they use your mom as the informant to turn you over to them so they can control you. That's why when you get married and divorced, you got to go through them. If you agree to be a part of the matrix, now they can control your assets, control your relationship, control dividing of assets, control who can see the children, when they can't. They are in all of our lives if we comply. So a United States citizenship status makes you a chattel property of the corporation, and you pay tribute to the corporation by way of paying taxes. That's why they tell you paying taxes is voluntary. But the Trump administration is overturning the IRS. He said it, I'm going to do away with the IRS and create the ERS, the External Revenue Service. It's being dismantled. That's why we're under a partial government shutdown. So citizenship status does not protect you. You're not a lawful American. You're a legal United States citizen, property of the corporation that's now defunct, insolvent, and gone for the most part. So the same entity that had the discretion to bring people here, to recruit them, give them benefits, keep them there, let them vote, whether they document it or not, is the same ones now using their discretion to say, you have to go home, because all of these pathways to residency were either not permanent, or even if they were allegedly permanent, they can be overturned at any time, because the Republic and the American people didn't invite you here. The deep state, that's the ones who made the black people, so-called black people, the indigenous people, prisoners of war here on these lands. Yeah, they were the ones that invited people and allowed them to have corporations and commercial real estate and homes and to buy land. I don't care how much land they try to buy. They don't own it. Some of us have blood right ties to the lands. People have to go home and enjoy the real estate and the benefits and resources of their country. So that's it, family. I've said enough. I'm gonna get off here. Remember to join me at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what I'm saying is alert. We need help. I'm bringing on a sister, a beautiful sister, a mom, a grandma, to share her story about how her daughter was arrested. Her grandchild passed away. Now, when the mainstream media got a hold of this, they criminalized the family and said, oh, you're a criminal, instead of giving them the support and the help that they need. We're going to talk about how these things can come about if we don't band together. Okay? So join us at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for this beautiful, amazing podcast that we're going to do. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. I've been on way too long. I am so eternally grateful for all of you. You are amazing. You are wonderful. And remember, abundance is your birthright. Okay? You're amazing. You're powerful. If you believe in or even know that scriptures have authority and that they're written, a lot of them based on ancient principles, the scripture says, ye are gods and children of the Most High. Being gods means you are creators. You're the creator of your own reality. That's how amazing. You can speak it. You can command wealth, command liberty, command the release of prosperity. Why? Because prosperity and abundance, that's your birthright. Say it. Abundance is my birthright. I command all of the wealth to be returned and restored to we the people. That's it, family. I'll see you on the other side. Go out and make this a great day. Peace. See you at 7:00 p.m. Thank you for all the Cashapp gifts. Thank you for the $5 here in the comment section. Thank you for anybody asking about donation. I see Sister Janine put it in the chat. My Cashapp is $ Mama Kia 13. Thank you for supporting Farmer Dre, the farmer of the Soul Tribe, and his lovely wife. Thank you for supporting Chief Mac. If you want a consultation with him, please send him an email to unityinmotion45@yahoo.com. Anything else? If all hearts and minds are clear, we're going to get out of here. Go out and make this a great day. Thank you for your time and your attention and all of your comments. Peace.